Elliot glucking the...
Did you gluck during my good morning?
You were glucking.
I think that he was just trying to match your vibe.
You were like...
Remember, put your mouth on it. You got to put your mouth on it.
Put your mouth on it.
You were glucking for a sucking, my boy.
Oh my God. What a way to start off.
Okay, but I'm banned for being a pervert.
Yeah, you're a perv.
But he glucked and said I'm glucking for a sucking, but I got banned.
I'm just matching the energy in the room.
I didn't
I'm
say
matching the energy
anything
in the room.
that.
I'm matching the energy in the room.
Ooh, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Do Over podcast. We have a full studio dressed to the nine to celebrate our little box of black.
Man, you're dressed like a superintendent. What you talking about?
Black. It's all black.
I can't stop saying it. Black.
Black. That's one of the funniest bits I've ever seen in a movie ever. Like ever,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Good morning. My name is Drew Hyatt. We got Elliot Jiggity Jams right there.
Why are you saying jiggity like that?
Why can't I say Jiggity
I
Jam?
talked to you. I trusted you. And there you are, throwing out my lumps like that.
He feels like if he...
I talked to you in confidence.
I didn't say Jiggly Jams.
Yes, you did.
I said Jiggity Jams.
That's just as bad.
We got Colleen. Colleen on the move.
Colleen on the move.
Colleen on the move is here, and there's a reason why she's here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with Colleen, so thank you for being here. We also got Barbara as Jess. Look at all of us. It's almost like we're professional. We got a big old TV in here with our logo on it. I know. And like, hey, look, it's going to be a work in progress, all right? So we're figuring out how to like get the best angles and lighting and stuff, but just know that we're going to just jump right into it.
And we're starting with new tablecloths next time.
I was thinking, why are these gray?
Yeah.
So
it looks nice. All right.
Okay, hold on.
It's a nice change of pace.
Let's go back. Okay. So our asses get fired.
What?
Hold on. We got fired.
Yeah.
Are you just finding out?
Elliot ignored me. Elliot ignored me for 5 days. And then I got him to be like, okay, I'll do a podcast. And then I was like, oh, and then I had to run around and go find stuff in order to make a set. Thank God we were using Orky's space, his home space.
His safe space.
Allowing
his
us
safe
into
space.
his safe space.
He allowed us in. We were using that initially. And then Colleen came through with some buddies. Shout out Jeff.
Shout out Jeff.
His name's Jim.
His name is Jeff. For us to be able to get an actual location that we can kind of just leave our stuff. And these were pivotal to hide this. I don't know if you can see
Don't show it. Don't show our broke.
Wait.
Don't show our broke boy status.
So the idea is we're actually going to get proper tables, some IKEA stuff that we can drill holes into.
Oh, cute.
To actually use.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. So anyways, good morning. It feels good. Episode 5, Taps and Takes. Episode 2 is up. If someone has not by now told me what show I was emulating with my good morning, you're not going to get a shirt. The very first shirt, you get nothing.
You know what? And then I'm going to wear it and then you can't have it. So
yeah, if we don't get it by the time the shirt's print,
it's mine.
It's Elliot's.
It's mine now.
It's Elliot's.
So tough titties.
That's just how it's going to work.
I think it's going to be
nipples,
worth
tough
more
titties.
once he wears it.
If he wears it, it's just going to be worth so much more.
I think it's going to go up in value.
Because it's going to rub off
He has
of
to
Elliot.
like roll around in it.
It's going to have my musk
He has
on
to
it.
like wipe his butt with it. It's worth a lot.
Speaking of, I did christen our brand new bathroom.
Congratulations. How was your experience?
It was good. We have it right there. You know, it's just right out that door.
That's right. We're all touching butts now.
Yeah.
And every time you use it, that sound is going to go off.
Period.
Yeah.
When you're
done.
Flush. That's the flush.
Right before you flush. It's just going to like applaud you for being here. Thank you.
They have the literal bar in there.
Love it.
So it's like a bar you can hold.
You got to brace yourself.
So if you're like having a rough one, like that dude on Twitter, when his feet were all curled up like this.
Bless that boy.
Holding on. So we could probably hear everything that's going on in there. Just keep that in mind as you go.
Shut up.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying that to make you clamp up.
Oh, I'm clamping up. The faucet's going on. Music's turning on.
Don't turn it on. You got to like smack the wall and be like, woohoo.
Sure. You're enjoying the ride.
Exactly. You got to make them feel awkward.
I'm so skinny.
So before we even get into this, because, you know, I don't know what the decorum is like between you and your man, Jimmy. But I need to know, like, I think you're like normal, right? Like
I think I'm pretty normal.
Like the whole, in your relationship, the whole like poop thing, it's normal. Jess is in a situation in which the whole poop thing is not normal.
It's not normal for him. It's normal for me. So it's like we're half and half. Yeah.
So it's normal for Jess, but like her man does not want to hear anything. No.
It's like I don't do it.
No farting.
But if he were in here, he'd be like, I'm not like that. He is. 1,000,000%.
Like he'll get mad at her if he hears her take a shit. So what is the poop protocol in the Colleen and
when you
Jimmy
got a
house?
code? What do you got a code brown? What's protocol here?
First and foremost, Jimmy doesn't ever shut the door, and he has full blown conversations with me, and he has like a poop book, and he's gone through several of them. You know those books that are like the unusual fact books?
Yeah,
it's like a little okay. So we have those. I buy them for him for like his birthday or Christmas or whatever, whenever he runs out of his last poop book. And then I don't really like that book to go on my bookshelf, so it can just stay on the back.
Where else is a book supposed to go?
It stays on the back of the toilet.
It's a poop particle book.
Yes. Yeah. So it
has poop hands all over it.
Yes. So on our very first date, he was like, "Are we comfortable enough to fart around each other?" And he was like,
on the first date, my man.
That's how you know it's a a relationship.
That's how you know.
It wasn't. I would say it was like the first time we had like been to each other's houses is like a better way to put it.
Oh, okay.
Within like the first week, but he was like, "Are we comfortable enough to fart around each other?" And I was all, "Absolutely not." He's all, "Great." And I was all,
ripped a hole in his pants.
It's like right before they're about to bang for the first time, he's saying, "Hey, I gotta pull my finger."
No. What you need to do.
Are you for real? And he's like, "Well, you're still here."
What you need to do is after the first time you two consummate the relationship.
Let's go back and
yes, Dr. Elliot.
You got a Dutch oven.
You gotta
exert
dominance.
Oh my God.
You got a Dutch oven.
That's how you mark
like
territory.
if you can survive that, you guys can get through anything.
Yeah.
And that's how you know love is real.
That's how you know love is real.
Well, then I am in a loveless relationship.
Well, that was depressing. Moving forward.
Before we even get into it,
oh my God.
Let's go ahead and tell the story, because you said that you finally, it was a breakthrough in the relationship.
I might start crying because it's literally that funny to me.
She's all right.
So on Sunday, he's like, so we're laying in bed and he's like, "I have to go pee." And normally, like, I have never, when he's been in the room, I've never pooped in our master bathroom because he's in the room. Like, you don't want to hear it, so I'm going to go to the other bathroom. So I'm assuming he does the same thing.
Right.
So he goes to the bathroom. And I know he's sitting down because you can hear it when people put their cheeks on the seat.
You can hear it?
What, is there like a suction?
100%.
Wait, is there a suction cup like a...
Well, for women, you guys either sound like you're pouring water from above your head,
That's true.
or you silently,
or it's a silent spray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh.
Yeah,
so
like we can
knows.
hear.
Yeah, you go like,
yeah.
Oh.
No, you do. You do the old.
Yeah, and you guys all like make noise because you're not used to putting your ass on the toilet seat and it's cold. So it's like the end of the world.
Yeah, there's a very ooh.
Yeah. So I know he's sitting down, and then I'm like, please tell me he's not sitting down and peeing. Because no offense if you do that as a man, but like, grow up.
Wait. So,
it's healthier for you if you do it that way.
You know what the funny thing is about that is that I'm not in a constant state of I need to poop. But I always
you always fear it.
I always sit down.
Sharding.
No. I always sit down just in case like I need to also take a
because sometimes one triggers the other.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my
God. Like you can put. If you poop, you pee no matter what. If you pee, you don't have to poop.
Oh my God.
But what if like it's just almost there? You know?
But
so
if you have
you ever surprised? Like, have you ever surprise pooped? Okay.
Yeah. Right. No.
There's been times where like a guy will have to use the restroom. He's peeing, and then you realize like, oh, it's not alone.
Yes.
And
then you sit down.
Now you're standing, but now you're standing. But you're like, wait, I got to get to the urinal.
So they can't turn unless they turn.
Well, you don't want to
No. You don't want to clamp midstream. That's like the worst thing ever.
No, you finish what you're doing, and then you do the shake
Sometimes
it once,
you don't have
that's
time.
fine. Shake it twice, that's okay, and then you sit down. So I know, I'm like, oh, he's sitting down and peeing. Like, what a weirdo.
Okay.
So that's where my mind is. Then all of a sudden, I'm not kidding. I hear. Hang on. I go, and then, and the longest ever. And it's like a minute long. And then he goes, oh my God. And so then I'm like, wait, I'm going to act like I didn't hear that because I'm trying to be polite.
Good luck with
I'm
that.
gonna act, and he just like, finishes his business, opens the door, and like crawls back in bed, and I'm like, okay, so like, what was that? That was like the longest part I've ever. I go, what if you heard me do that? He goes, I'd laugh, and I'm like, you literally told me one time that if I farted in my sleep, you couldn't look at me for the rest of the day.
Oh my God.
He literally told me that.
Jimmy told me once to come to the bathroom because he had taken the longest shit he'd ever seen of his life and wanted me to validate that it was the longest. And I was like,
amazing.
Absolutely. No, that's too far. And he goes, I took a picture of it and sent it to the boys. And I was like,
guys, we're
Look at
7 minutes in,
Hold on,
guys.
wait.
We're never going to get monetized with this kind of potty mouth.
Look at Elliot acting like he's better than this conversation.
He poops with the door open, by the way.
Okay, I do not. We don't do that.
I'm like in the set, not like sending pictures to the boys. That's kind of gross. But I mean, like,
unfriend you.
But I mean, like, no, but like, if we got like plans, you're gonna be like, hey, what do we need at the store? I'm gonna keep the door open, keep the conversation rolling. You know, like, I get that. Like, it's funny though.
It's
door closed.
It's funny though because my family also in one of the bathrooms has like a little book basket. So like, and much like yours, be like, how to survive this situation, how to survive.
Right.
So I'll pick that up and like, oh yeah,
how to survive. Now Elliot knows how to survive in every environment.
My dad reads the Bible when he poops. That's his Bible time.
Like when when you're in front of a rattlesnake, you're supposed to jump to the sides because they lunge forward.
Yeah.
So you gotta sweat.
See, you're getting good information.
See? This is important stuff to know while I'm taking a grumper.
This
A
story
grumper is so foul to me. I can't.
Let me tell you a grumper story.
I can't with that word. I can't.
Super grumpy.
I feel bad for Oric. He's just having to listen to potty talk.
Yeah, but
He's
now
like, I woke up early for this.
we have a proper producer area now for Oric. What's
Honestly,
up, Oric?
period.
What happened to the on-air sticker?
What?
We had like an on-air sticker thing.
Oh, we'll put it back.
But now nobody knows.
Anyways, so this, I'll never forget this. I was probably like 20, 22, 23, something like that. And I take the craziest poop my whole life. Now, look.
That he remembers it 20 years later.
Hold on. Wait. This is why I remember it.
It was a cold morning.
I almost took a picture of it. And let me tell you why. So it was just one.
Now we're going to describe
Hold on. Wait. You have to hear this. It was one solid log, right? And I'm like, man, that was a shit. And I stand up.
One solid log Christmas morning.
It's still there.
A Yuletide log.
He's got himself a little Yorkie tail.
I stand up. I look down. It looks like in the perfect shape of a dick. And then part of it had broken off to be the balls. So it was like a dick and balls. But when I tell you it was like a fucking statue of a dick and balls, I'm like, man, I got to take a picture of that and post it online and be like, what was I eating? Right?
Maybe
you wanted to imply you were eating dick and balls.
Yes, I thought it would be funny.
I love that.
Maybe hang on though. Maybe your butt is secretly gay.
Just my butt?
And it's sending you messages subliminally.
Yeah, I'm just gay in my butt. That's it. Not my mouth, not my hands, just my butt.
The problem is I love women. My butt loves men. That's all.
I don't know what to. My front is all about vagina. My back is about being a vagina.
Oh my God. Stop.
Okay. All right, we'll calm down. We'll calm down a little bit. New studio! Round of applause! Yes! Oh, wait. Yeah! Anyways, now, Colleen.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for coming in today. I'm glad that we got to talk about for the first 10 minutes right when you walk through the door. This is what you get with the Do-Over podcast.
With the Poo-Over podcast.
Yeah. And also, big shout out to our sponsors. We will position your guys' stuff around non-poop content. I promise
yeah, I'm
you
sure
that.
they're stoked.
What if it's a plumber?
10 minutes in.
Huh?
What if it's a plumber?
Then we'll definitely do some strategic.
We'll do the do.
Yeah, we'll do the do. And surprisingly enough, I want to say there's been quite a few people that have been reaching out to us to actually get sponsorship onto the podcast. So for that, thank you so much.
Yeah, you just go to Venmo and you just type in my full name and then there we go. That's how you sponsor the podcast.
This is, get Elliot to Hawaii. No, Colleen's going to be taking that over. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Now, before we get started with Hump to Hump to see what we've been up to this last week, let's talk about our very brand new segment. It came from the comment section because I got one that I am so happy about.
Oh, go on.
Now, when it comes to the hate of the Do-Over crew, it's largely you.
It's usually me.
It's usually you. But sometimes also me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit of both. A little bit of A, a little bit of B. You know, we are the hated
all
ones.
the same person in my defense.
And I think that some that are coming our way, like me and you, a lot of burners, a lot of people associated with our past that I think, you know, are just trying to be heads.
Period.
But I got something that made me happy.
Yeah.
See, Elliot, for some reason, he dodges all of the bullets.
I
Every
don't
time.
dodge.
Every time.
I'm like Superman, you know? I'm just so lovable.
You're so lovable.
Everybody wants to hang out and be around me. I get it.
Do not understand how Elliot dodges every single negative comment. Everyone loves this guy. And look, he's a lovable guy. I love Elliot too.
Because he's like peace and happiness.
But even when we're out, like as a team, how many people say Drew or Jess? 0. It's always Elliot. Where's Elliot?
Oh, look,
and
it's
I'm
Elliot.
like, oh, we don't matter.
Yeah.
I know. No one
loves us.
It's like, look, we're like the Three Stooges. They're all important, but I'm clearly the favorite.
He's the blonde espresso.
Not for Sammy McDonald, you're not.
Ooh, shout out Sammy. We love you, Sammy McDonald.
All right, rude.
Here's the first. Hold on, wait. This is the first message he sent me. This is and now remember, this is the others tab. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm bad about going through the other and requests. So just know if you're messaging us, I'm gonna try to be better about that. I know I've said that a lot, but I'm going through and trying to clear things because if I don't follow you, it goes into like a request. I don't know why I cannot, through the back end of Instagram, just funnel all of them to primary.
Honestly,
it's
just
so
message
stupid.
me or Elliot and we will get the message.
They'll get the message.
Yeah.
So I'm really bad about that. The first message is from December 13th of 2023. So this guy clearly listens.
He's been a born hater. he's had this stewing.
This is what he says. Elliot's got a face you just want to punch. Now, I didn't even see it. But then I saw this one. With all due respect, Drew, this is the exact reason you're not air no more.
Oh.
This dude is a straight up simp. Cut ties, my guy. You're better than that. And I've been waiting for the one guy who hates Elliot, and I found him. And then nobody responded. You sure did. Like he was happy.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. That's me.
Yeah, we should egg his house or something. Yeah, pull his pants down. Yeah, let's get him.
One of us. What about you, Colleen? Do you get hate on the Instagram? I mean, you're a hot chick on Instagram, so you probably get people either being like, hey, I love you. And then when you're like, yeah, I'm married, then they're like, well, you're ugly then. You're ugly.
I didn't like you anyway.
Actually not on Instagram as much as people think. I do a lot of Instagram. Like I do a lot of stuff for Instagram for other people, but on my own Instagram, I'm not really consistent. But
you used to be, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I used to be for a while, and then like I screwed up my algorithm and like did a bunch of stuff, and then I've been debating on like redoing my Instagram, and then I'm like, but that means I gotta commit to an Instagram. And
is your algorithm just a bunch of women breastfeeding?
Oh,
because that must be Elliott's, because that's the second time he brought that shit up.
No,
mine are like the bad stuff on my feed is just chicks going like this.
Yeah, his are probably also like the girls that like they like hold it and then they like pop them down. Like, you know what I mean?
Like the boob drop?
Yeah.
And then
a lot of that.
like,
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's nothing wrong with those.
All the weight falls. Yeah. No breastfeeding, no weight falling.
Titties.
Yeah. Chesticles.
No, but that's my feed too. Because of you.
Oh, because I talked about it?
It has to be.
Because you're horny.
Oh my God, watch now. That's going to be my feed.
There's nothing wrong with me being horny.
All
mine
is now is monkey memes. It's just Saya, your banana. it's just a chimpanzee on his knee giving a banana.
But just yesterday in my little feed, it was all girls. It wasn't the front, it was the back, and them just like shaking their butts. And I'm like, what did I like? Or what did I watch for a little too long?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do?
That's how the feed works. Like when you're watching like a short or something, it categorizes it and then it'll just feed you more of that. It's just like what TikTok does.
It's like hair, big booty bitch, big big booty bitch, big booty bitch. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, you didn't have to
I like 'em with a big butt.
Okay, you didn't need to call them bitches. I'm sure they're very nice.
No, that's empowering for coming from a chick.
oh, yeah.
You go,
Okay.
bitch.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have that?
I mean, no, I don't think so. But honestly, like, I don't care what people have to say. So I'm sure that people have been rude to me, and I'm just like, they're like, you're a bitch, and I'm like,
and
cool.
Yeah, daddy, I slay.
I could see
empowerment.
Here's why I love Colleen, and here's the reason why. Colleen is a very, how do I put this?
Oh, dear.
She is very direct, blunt.
Yeah.
Will say her mind, but not in like a
not in a mean way.
Not in the like those people that are like, I speak my mind, and they're just assholes and they say that. It's not like that. It's like, I give this example because this is the perfect example. If I'm doing like an open house, right? Because I'm in real estate. So if I'm doing an open house and someone comes up and I'm like, hey, if you need an agent or whatever, here's my card. And they're like, well, we already have one. I'd be like, oh, okay. That's all good. Well, if you're interested, have them call me. Colleen is the person I'll be like, well, who is it?
Yeah.
Who is it? How long have you
known
been
them for?
Yeah. What's their name? Who's their broker? Oh, do they sell a lot? Like Colleen's that person.
Yeah.
And
that's me.
When you hear somebody, are you just like, huh?
I
You're
like
Colleen,
everybody.
what?
I just believe everything that I hear.
you have
I'm like a
everything
skeptic.
planned out.
Oh, 100%.
Like her count, she is the planner. Like I
need
guarantee
to
you,
be
if I'm
that.
like, what's happening June 6th of 2025? I bet you can look into your calendar and tell me something that you have scheduled.
Probably.
She's that person and she sticks to it. That's like Colleen.
I can't relate.
I think we're supposed to be in Tokyo in June.
Boom.
Ooh.
Now you do travel a lot. Like this.
I do travel a lot. I actually didn't travel at all before COVID.
Really?
So every place that I've been to, everything that I've done has been post COVID.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the COVID like took travel away.
Just like the option. So you're like,
and I always like growing up, I wanted to live in Egypt and like be a doctor or teach English. And
sounds
that was
like
my
a sitcom
dream.
of some kind.
You can still do that. You can. I looked into teaching English in Japan. I didn't get the job.
No.
They're like, no, you can't say advocate. They're like, no.
But I mean, like online.
No, poor baby.
No, so
You would have moved to Japan.
Yeah, you move there for the year and then you teach. And if you want to keep doing it, you can keep going back.
A lot of people end up like staying in Japan that do that. Like young people go over there and then they just fall in love with the culture and the people. And then they're like, well,
like the lifestyle
I'm
so
just gonna stay
different.
here.
Yeah.
I heard that you can live on very meager means in Japan, even though it's like a really expensive place. Like Tokyo is expensive, right?
Sure.
It's like the Vegas, the New York of Japan. But in certain areas, like some of the prefectures, you can actually live on very meager means well. Like you know how like here I was just thinking about like food costs, right? If you get one meal out or if you even just cook meals regularly and you're eating 2 to 3 times a day, you're in a family of 5. You're spending probably like $40 to $50 bare minimum a day on food. That's $1,500 a month. In Japan, you can feed like a family of 5 with the way that they develop, and cook food. You can probably feed them for like $10 a day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man.
No, the 7-Elevens, man, they're game
They're
changers.
crazy.
I've never had such fresh food until I went to Japan. Like whether it's the sushi, whether it's the ramen, whether it's the chicken, the steak, the meat that you cook in front of yourself, or it's going to 7-Eleven. I'm hungry just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Getting 2 like tuna nigiris, canned coffee, and just you're set for the day.
7-Eleven culture in Japan's crazy. Like when you go there, you need to see what their 7-Elevens are like. It's crazy. And how much you can get for $10 is wild, dude.
It's insane. Didn't you just tell me? I just went to J-Pot the other day and he was like,
rip off.
he's all seriously, you want to go somewhere where they force you to cook the food? And I was all, well, I'd rather it be like cooked at the table than sitting under a hot light and
That's
waiting.
true.
Waiting for it to come out to my table.
That was definitely on the list of things to talk about. Thanks for jumping forward, Colleen.
You can just segue right into it.
Yeah, you made the comment about.
Hold on.
It's got a good happy hour, man.
I'm sure it's great. If I go to a restaurant, Feed me.
I can't
This
go
is
there.
why
I don't want to cook. Like, I can cook at
But
home.
I mean, you're not really cooking it.
Yes,
they
you are.
light it.
So,
and
like, if you
it
go
just-
to a Korean barbecue place and you have to cook the meat in
Yes.
front of you, are you like, this is BS? No,
Not
that's
doing
the whole
that.
point of the place.
To be fair, I have not done either. Okay, I have not done.
He's just judging other
I'm
people
just
that do.
judging
yes,
it for
right,
now.
Right. Makes
Like
sense.
how I judge people that eat pho as a meal.
Well, it's
I'm like,
delicious.
I didn't say it was bad. It's not a meal. It's a soup. Is soup a meal?
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
so.
I don't think so.
I don't think
If,
so.
if it has protein, it has vegetables.
Yeah.
it
See, the problem
has
is like
all
ramen's very filling.
Yeah.
Ramen's a meal.
Yes.
And if
Ramen-
you eat like two
well,
or three.
ramen is soup.
It
kind-
is it though?
Yes,
Is
yes,
it?
it's a soup. It's a soup.
I would say it's noodles.
It's noodles.
In a
I would say it's
broth.
noodles.
There's
Broth.
noodles in pho too.
Yes.
yeah,
okay,
but they're like
yes.
the very
They're
thin
like glass
ones.
noodles.
They're
so
very
good.
light.
Oh my gosh.
It just doesn't
But there's
feel.
like a lot of them.
It's delicious. Like
Mhm.
the pho place
Oh my
that
God.
is like big out here. It's
Which one?
delicious. Delicious
There's a
food.
million of them.
Yeah. There's like what it's like literally like pho number 99 or something like that is
No,
what
I
their
don't-
name is.
I go to like 72, I think.
It's that one.
Oh,
It's that one because they're side by side.
Mhm.
It's good. It's very delicious. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying soup's not a meal. Soup's not a
You're
meal.
wrong.
How haven't we had a
You're wrong.
Orky,
Soup
is
is a
soup
meal.
a meal?
Yes.
Fuck
Thank
you,
you,
fucking
Orky.
Soup is
crazy.
no.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
hold
Orky.
on. Things that are not a meal are singular items, and things that are like condiments. Like a salad is like a condiment. It's like a condiment to your
It's
dinner.
a side.
Well, hold on.
It's a
a
side.
condiment means something that goes on something.
Yes, but
Right.
okay, so then that's what I mean. Like, but with it goes with something. Your salad goes with something. Soup doesn't, unless you're in Italy. Then it goes with breadsticks.
I
but-
will destroy your argument
Go ahead,
in one sentence.
do it.
What is the
Challenge
options
accepted.
that they give you when
Uh-huh.
you go to a restaurant? Soup or salad? Which one?
No. That is
Prior
just
to your
literally
meal-
that's just
Oh,
all
no,
part
no,
of
no,
it.
no, no.
No.
I believe I just destroyed your
No,
argument.
you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did.
That's a restaurant gives you that option. Not every
Elliot,
restaurant.
how many-
most
most
I would
rest-
say 80 to 90%
80
of
to
restaurants.
90% is a crazy number.
It's
Hang
true.
on.
That's
Hang on,
still
though.
not.
I have a question.
Mm-mm.
How hasn't anybody opened a pho place and called it fucking crazy?
That is a
Okay,
good point.
I wanted
Fuck
someone.
Get me in marketing.
crazy.
Like,
a
this is a
sofa,
no-brainer
A
here.
sofa place, so you can say you're a sofa king.
Yeah, a sofa king,
Sofa king.
a fucking, right?
Like fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, and
There
and
is one
Fuck you,
somewhere.
great.
PHO.
I'm sure.
There is one
I'm
somewhere.
sure.
I've seen
There's
it.
probably
I don't
one-
know where though.
And-
like
but if-
here.
Not here,
If
but
the
like
city ordinance assholes out here have a stuck up their ass, though, they're not going to
Yeah,
let you do
yeah.
it. You know
But
what
it's
I mean?
just gonna say PHO. It's not gonna say FU.
I know, but
no,
still,
that's
people are
that's the
dicks.
point.
They can't have
That's
fun.
the point. When you say it aloud, you're like, oh, hey, that was so clever.
You funny. You mean good.
Anyways, let's get into it. What's up with your last week? I heard Elliot's having a little bit of a self-image issue right now.
shocker.
What else is new?
Elliot.
No, so week's been good. Some developments in the life of Jam, so that's cool. Found out for Lady Jam's 30th and my 32nd, we're going to be doing 5 days in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah, very excited.
Period.
Somehow managed to get the cheapest of plane tickets, so that was right.
How much were the plane tickets? Oh, wait, like you already got the tickets?
We got the hotel and the tickets already.
No way.
$240 round trip.
Wow.
That's
Really?
Yeah.
How was it that cheap?
There, you can get
Mom's-
them for like 140 sometimes.
Mom's a hound dog when it comes to finding
Oh,
cheap
if you
flights.
use
Yeah.
the mom.
I
connection, or-
use the mom. Well, I just use her to look for plane tickets because she's always looking. She's always in that world. So she sniffed them out like a hound dog. But anyway, but like we're very excited. We're stoked to go, and we're like, well, we got to look good for Hawaii. Like we got to look the best we've ever looked.
New fits.
New fits, new bods, the
I was
works,
looking
right?
For that.
And like
New
I,
bodies.
Yeah.
I go to GB3 the other day.
Hold on, wait, before you continue, I want to
Like-
point something out. So up until December 6th of last year, I
Mhm.
worked 2 careers. And somehow after I got fired, I became even more busy than
Yeah.
I was before.
Same.
Working
Mhm.
that same with you.
Mhm.
Colleen has her hands in like 85 million things and also has a full-time job. Elliot was unemployed until last week and he's going to Maui in May.
Oh,
What the
not Maui, but And also,
wait, why not
up to-
Maui? That's like the best island.
Maui is the best.
It is the best.
It is the
island.
best. All right,
What-
anyways,
what- are
continue
you
your
going to
story.
the
I just want to point
mainland?
that out.
I don't know. Don't worry about it. Leave me alone. Jeez.
No, because I got
And
good
also,
things for all the
developments
islands.
on the whole job thing, you turd burglar. All right?
What?
Being your guys' friends is a job in itself.
Being his
Especially
friend
when-
is exhausting.
Also,
exhausting.
It's a
don't
lot.
add me into that, Elliot.
Especially like when I
Mine
text
is
him
not a
and he just
job.
doesn't reply, but then I see him talking on Instagram. I'm like, that motherfucker, dude.
When
You
have
do
I
that.
ever talked ill on you on Instagram?
I didn't say you talked ill of me. It's
You just
like
said
when
I talked
I know
that word.
When I was asking you a question on your text messages and you don't reply, but then you're like, like on the social medias,
Well, yeah, but
posting the X.
I always sound like that when I'm on social media. I'm like,
So just continue about
this is gonna go viral. Anyway, so I go to GB3, and I haven't done this in probably like 4 or 5 months. But I'm like, you know what? With this vacation coming up, I gotta weigh myself. I gotta see where I'm at.
Not a good idea.
Right after holidays.
Yep, not a good idea.
I weigh myself every morning.
Not me.
Not me.
I haven't been 180 in 5 years. Since way back when we first started. Oh, don't shut up.
All right, continue.
I looked down at my tum-tum and I realized I haven't been this plump in a long, long time. And my head, along with my stomach, sank. So I went back to the house, and Lady Jams, she knows I've got this weird body thing. She hates it. She gets so angry with me when I get
It's
like
just
this.
like how I get
Much
angry
like
with
how you probably do.
Yes.
But
yes.
I was like, Babs,
Babs.
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 Love of my life, Babs.
I think I got a little plump this last year. And she was like, you look great. I don't want to hear it, but I was like, but babe, we got why? I've gotta clean this up. She's like, well, then you gotta stop being a little bitch.
Count round of.
That's
of
my
applause for
world.
her.
She's like,
See, that's
I
my
love-
world.
she's like,
great.
you do this to yourself all the time. You say you're gonna do something, and then maybe you get distracted by things like, but I'm a distractible guy. And it's like, and then you get down on yourself. You just lack a little discipline. It's like, not discipline.
I love that they are to the point in their relationship where she's now calling him a little bitch. That is my favorite
Me
part
too.
of this
I
whole
love
story.
that. I
If
do love that.
My husband called me that, I would be like,
Oh yeah, I'd cry. I would cry.
No, I mean,
I'd be
she
devastated.
she doesn't like when I talk ill about myself. So she gets mad if I'm down on myself. So she's like, you gotta knock
But that's
that
kind
out.
of your personality.
But
You're-
I was gonna say that, like, here, like when Elliot looks like his finest, he's still like,
I got
oh,
a little.
Tommy,
I still
where
got a
did
little
my
thing
chin
with him.
go?
But yeah.
Well,
and it's like,
to
you're
be
so
fair,
beautiful,
I've never had a chin. We know this. There's no beating around the bush. That's why we
I
grow
did.
beard. This is why we grow beards. We hide our lack of chin.
You need
He
facial
does
hair.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
is that
do
why
it.
you do that?
I do it
Yes.
because if I am completely shaved, like I have a chin, but it goes like this.
Yeah.
I think everybody's
Like
chin
a-
does that.
If
Yeah.
No. There are people that have
There's some people that are
defined
blessed.
jaws.
You have a really nice jawline. I don't have that.
Oh,
I,
thanks.
Yeah, you have a sharp face,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
No, wait.
like,
I,
it's-
Yeah.
see,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
could
thing.
open up
I
a
think
can
that-
with that sharp
I-
face.
yeah, just
think-
open up beers.
I've thought
I
about
think that
getting
I
chin
have,
filler.
like,
What? Don't.
Duh.
I've thought about it to
Don't.
like just sharpen me a little bit. I don't
No.
want like a crimson chin.
Don't do it
Get
because
what?
like what if
It's
it
chin filler.
what if it gets like
No.
fucked up
No,
and
no,
then
no.
you're just
Right. You gotta get
they
that
have
Zac
a-
Efron
They
chin.
have that stuff that you can put in your neck that dissolves the fat down here. It's Kybella.
Is that a real thing?
Text
It's a real
that to
thing.
me.
Sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
that.
will.
That scares me, man.
Yeah,
It's-
and I'm like,
it's-
cool.
it's-
I don't know. I just heard about it.
He's all.
That sounds like acid getting put into your neck.
No,
Just
no,
like, yeah,
it's like
it melts the
liposuction.
fat.
It's like liposuction, but in an injectable that goes into your neck and it dissolves all your fat cells, so you
Yeah.
can't absorb fat into your
You're
neck.
gonna have a
anymore.
dart in your jugular, man.
You're crazy, man. I love you.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. I did notice in a couple of pictures, Elliot did look a little more plump than he usually does. But
Oh, dang.
hold on,
shade.
hold on, wait,
It's an
wait, wait,
epidemic.
hold on,
Oh, the
wait.
shade.
It's an
Even though it's a little more plump, it's still like fit. Elliot's still fit.
I don't look at him.
I
and
don't
think he's
think
fit
chunky.
into
I
my
don't-
clothes
yeah.
anymore.
I don't think you're
Hey,
thick
look,
either.
you got some arms going.
It's a medium.
What's the problem with that?
Okay, can I do something really quick? Because
Yeah.
I've been working out a lot.
Whatever you do, don't. Okay. Oh,
What's that over there?
Yeah, look at those.
What is that over there?
Ooh,
Is her first
girl.
name Monty? Because she's got some pythons over there.
Everyone on the internet's like, all right, Colleen, your turn. Look at this. So plumpness aside, though,
You don't have to keep saying it.
I know it's gotten so dark in here. All the shade. There's so shady in here.
All the plumpness aside, we're going to talk about some big things that are happening.
Oh, what?
In your life.
Is it me again?
No. And we're not talking about your belly.
We're not talking about all the weight you gained.
All the loads and loads of LBs that you're now packing on with you.
You have a few queso emergency dips in your car, and all of a sudden you're fat.
Well, you also got, dude, you got comfy. That's all it happens to everybody.
I know. I know.
It happens.
No, see, I know.
No, we're done. But
The
for
problem-
real, dude, you got real sick.
The problem is we'll eat dinner and then we'll just like sit around the house or lay in bed and stuff. So you're not burning off any of those calories, any of those LBs.
I know, but
we're just storing it like we're groundhogs for the winter.
If you are single, when you are single, you are focused on
being in shape.
Because you want to be attractive to other people.
I was the hottest I've ever been right after my divorce because I wasn't eating and I was working out.
Yeah. I was starving myself and I was doing a lot of exercise the healthy way. You are so focused on being attracted to other people.
You're also at your saddest.
Right.
But when you find someone and you get
the first Drewgasm in the new studio.
He can't make it to the bathroom.
When you find someone and you get comfortable, okay, you get comfortable.
Get cozy.
Everyone gets a little cozy.
It happened to Marge. It happened to me. It happened to Drew. It's going to happen to all of us.
When me and Sarah met, okay, I was in the best shape of my life. I was 169 pounds. I felt good. I fit in clothes, everything. I felt good about the way I looked. Okay. It did not take but 6 months to where I was already over 200 pounds. It was a short
leap. 2 months?
I mean,
no, it's like 6.
How many pounds is that gained though?
I mean,
I'm not very good at the weight guessing.
I was about 32 pounds heavier by the time I moved in with her around September of the same year that we got together.
That's a crazy amount of weight gained, my boy.
35?
Yeah.
About 35 pounds.
About 35 pounds.
That is a lot.
And it is a lot. And it's just because I stopped with my diet. I was. Oh, dude.
Now, see,
I'm like, that was 32 pounds ago.
Yeah, now we're all getting a little mean.
Are you trying to get on me?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. No. It was a lot.
Wow.
Look
is it
at
shady
you.
over there now?
See, here's the thing, though. I'm married. I'm okay with it. I don't need to impress anyone. Yeah, whatever.
Are you still on your diet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
good.
checking.
It's good.
No, I am trying to get back down to 180. That's why when I hear him say talking shit on himself for being 180 pounds, I'm like, man, that's where I want to be, dude.
I am trying to lose about 30 pounds too.
Yeah. I don't think you need to lose 30 pounds.
I don't need to lose. Look, I don't need to lose that much weight. I just need to make it look a little better. We got to manage the weight a little better, so at least it doesn't look so bad.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna do a challenge?
I don't know, man. I don't wanna.
Yeah, but you haven't done one in a long time.
Do intermittent fasting.
He kind of
do, kind of don't.
Okay.
No, the problem is it's just I'll eat late at night and then I'll just lay around in bed and stuff before I go to bed. So it's I'm not burning off any of these calories. So it's just storing in my tummy.
Yeah, that was me.
In my belly. It's storing my storage.
The only thing that I changed is I did the intermediate fasting, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Intermittent.
Yeah, that word.
Intermittence. Yes.
Intermittent.
Intermittent.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Intermittent.
Okay, so 11. So I eat from 11 to 7, and that's it. And then at 7 o'clock,
I'll do 1 to 10 p.m. That's not good.
Yeah, you might want to adjust that time.
I know, 2 a.m.
I gotta waking up at noon, right?
No. No.
I don't wake up at 5 anymore, but I'll wake up at about 9 o'clock most days.
I have noticed that the sleep has really changed my attitude for the better. I still get grumpy sometimes.
I'm so much happier.
From the feedback I've gotten from the pod, they've said Drew must be the happiest he's ever been because he's got this fun energy around him, whereas sometimes on the show you'd come in a little angry.
We always
coming
knew.
in
like you had a toothache.
We always knew.
Like you had a toothache.
I was sleep deprived for 5 years.
But by the sound of you know how you can always tell who's walking into the room by the sound of their steps?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I always knew what day we were going to have by the way you walked in.
Really?
Because of the sound of your steps.
I wasn't, but I'm not a monster. Like, I wasn't mean to people.
No, we're saying though, like the sleep really does matter because you come in here, and maybe it's because we're doing the pod now, and it's like kind of your baby.
We're Lucy.
It's really your baby.
It's our baby.
The amount of work Drew's put into this though is
that guy right there.
That guy. Yeah,
this guy.
This lazy sacco, you know what?
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Elliot.
no, but from a lot of people, they said there's an aura around Drew.
There's an energy shift.
There's a big energy shift, and there's you just seem happier, man.
It's because I'm sleeping.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like I can pull an 8-hour. It doesn't matter how much sleep you got when we were doing the morning show, because even if you went to bed at like 9 and woke up at 4:45,
you're still exhausted
when you wake up. But it wouldn't be bad if we didn't have to immediately turn on and then entertain people for 4 hours
and be
straight.
Like
immediately
super funny.
turn
You
on.
have to be like super fun and ready to go, and like everybody has to love you, and you're like,
you have to be like, you know, like that's hard.
Not everyone is hot and funny naturally.
No,
oh my
not
goodness.
everyone can be us.
No,
you know, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Anyways, what have you been up to this last week? I got an update that we're gonna get to. I heard from your brother.
Yeah, my eyes could not roll back far enough.
We're gonna get to that.
Twitching right now.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you watched the last episode yet, but
I'm like halfway through it.
Jess got booted from D&D. Jess got booted from the D&D with her brother because she was being drunk and aggressive, and
I got to the part where you were like you had made your character and you were like explaining like
that she cuts dicks off.
Yeah.
Period.
That's her thing. That's what she's about.
That's the aggression, I guess.
Oh, and then you got booted?
My brother told me I can't come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're going to talk about that later because I got an update from her brother. He actually gave me a synopsis. It's like a 7-point presentation of the reasons why he booted her.
He then sent it to me and was like, just so you FYI. And I'm like, you did not send that.
Oh my God. It's so good.
It's on an Excel spreadsheet.
We'll get to that. I was fucking pissed.
Yeah, she was mad.
I was so mad at him that last night he texted me and he's like, can you fit me in for a haircut, please? So in the text, he called me, said I was sloppy and said that I knew how sloppy I was. Mind you, that is not true. And so I said, go find
You didn't know or you weren't sloppy?
I wasn't sloppy.
Oh, okay.
And then in my screenshot that I sent you guys, he admitted sloppy was the wrong word. But when you call someone sloppy, that's so fucked up. And so I was like, okay.
I don't think I've ever seen her sloppy
I'm
drunk,
not.
but I've seen her like I will play devil's advocate just a little bit with your brother. You do, and it's not a personality. You get slightly aggressive when you drink because it's like you ramp up so fast.
Yeah.
And then you kind of crash.
Yeah.
But
and
you're like a kid on a sugar high.
But
yeah,
the thing about me, unfortunately, this is not always a good thing. I'm super self-aware, even when I'm drunk. So I know if I get to a certain point, okay, if I have one more drink, I'm going to start crying. So I'll stop. Or if I have one more drink, I'm going to start trying to fight people. So I'll stop. And I didn't get to that point at all. And so last night
you were chopping people's wieners off.
That was part of my story.
It was, but you were also like,
but what's my motivation?
Is this like what you guys do? You
did not say that. Oh my God.
So this is what you nerds do. You sit around a corner and you talk about wieners.
Indubitably.
Indeed. But I told him, I go, why don't you go call a hairstylist that's not sloppy? And he responded, LOL, okay. And I'm like, oh, he didn't think that was funny. And so I just kind of sat there for a second and I was like, okay, he and I don't fight. We haven't fought since we were kids. Like, we don't have that kind of relationship. And so I was like, I don't like harboring this like pain in my heart. And so I texted him. I was like, dude, I'm sorry if I like upset you. And he was like, you didn't. I didn't think this was going to turn into such a huge thing. But
I want you back in.
I don't want to go back.
I want you back
in. I don't like it enough.
We need you back.
I want her back in.
I don't like it enough. And we all know this, apparently, confirmed. I can't hide how I feel on my face. If I'm not happy to be there, you're going to know. I'll be, Oh, okay. Like I'm not cool like that.
You kind of got the face on right now.
Because
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy to be, to be going to D&D. I don't want to go. And I don't want to go to ours either.
Sucks.
Well, you're going
Come
to
on.
ours.
It'll be fun with us.
It's going to be, yeah. You'll have a lot of stuff to do.
And if you don't think I might be sipping a little something, you crazy.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
you'll
if you-
drink with me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get blacked out drunk, but
I'm not either.
I'll be
And then
sipping on something.
We'll support your dick chopping.
I'll come and drink with you.
Yeah, there
Someone
you go.
needs to party with me.
Colleen will come and party with you.
Because
Okay.
that's
Thanks,
the thing.
Orc.
I need to party. I need to. Period. Okay, you'll party with me.
There you
All right,
go.
cool. Like,
So-
See, now you got like a whole party.
I like that.
It's just going to be one sober person and 3 sloppy drunk heads.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to be drunk.
Okay, wait, he
I'm gonna be
went straight to
smooth.
sloppy.
That's what I'm not sloppy.
sloppy.
I am literally. Here's
Okay,
the
hang on
thing.
though. I have a character idea. His name is Joe. He's actually a cook. So he travels with the party cooking for everybody, but he only ends up cooking sloppy joes.
Oh my god.
So my
Stupid.
character
That's
will
such
be
an Elliot thing.
sloppy Joe.
So the first time I met Elliot, we actually went to Tahoe Joe's and I was taking
Sloppy
shots at the
Joe's.
bar. I had about 3. Okay, and that's usually my limit.
Right.
Elliot, was I sloppy? Do you remember?
No?
He's sitting here like this.
Because that would be more alcohol than I consumed.
What
at-
she failed to mention is that it wasn't just Tahoe Joe's. It was Tahoe Joe's into teppanyaki dinner with more drinks at teppanyaki dinner.
No, that's a different time.
Oh, well, she's pretty sloppy there.
She
At
was kind of sloppy.
teppanyaki?
By the time we'd gotten done, it was a Tahoe Joe's to teppanyaki, probably 5-6 drinks.
Yeah, 5 or 6
She doesn't
drinks.
even have
I
recollection.
don't even
No.
know that. I don't even
5
know
or
when we went to
6 drinks
teppanyaki, to be honest.
In her, it would make her sloppy because like her limit is like 3.
I have about my
It's like 3.
peak is 4. Like I cannot go past 4.
And then she's like FaceTiming. Oh, we keep it out.
Here's how I get it. It's,
yeah.
One, you get like foreshadowing. Your first drink, you get foreshadowing. You get a little more buzz than you realize. You're like, wow, am I a lightweight now? This is 1. Then you get 2 and 3, and you actually like balance out. You're like, oh yeah, I'm
chill.
feeling 5, feeling the good times. 4 and 5, you're like, okay, flirting with disaster. 6 is disaster. Anything past that.
7 is when Elliot walks away. Then I get scared because I feel like he's upset. Like he'll like walk away and
Oh, you'll walk away from everyone?
he'll like be by himself.
Just all like in the corners all.
Yeah, like the first
I'm
beer.
sad.
That's
drunk.
when the dark thoughts come
That
back.
was I lost him at a beer crawl one time, and the way I found him was he bumped into me.
That was totally different. They
And
were
he-
moving so slow.
He bumps into
Oh
me
my
and he
God.
turns around and he goes, "Get the fuck off me!"
Oh,
And
dude.
I was like,
Did not say
What?
that.
Oh my God, Elliot.
Did
That's
not
so
say
mean.
that.
Yeah,
That's
you
so
did.
mean.
No, yeah, you did because I
Did not-
had to ask Chris if he didn't like me, and Chris was like, "Oh no, he's just like that."
No, didn't say that. And second of all, they're moving. It's the beer crawls go as this. You get a tiny little shooter cup
Right.
and you have to hit, you don't have to unless you're a
You're
loser.
supposed to.
You're supposed to hit all marks to get
It's
every
like
beer and
25
try
of
it
them
out.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, 24,
Yeah.
25.
It's probably like
It's a lot.
It's like 12 beers
It is
probably.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it's a
walking.
lot.
It's
Right.
like you gotta hustle,
Yeah.
and if
So-
any of those lines are long, like
Yeah.
you gotta
Right.
start
So
cutting.
Yeah.
you got to start moving. And
Yeah.
the group we were with was just like, oh yeah,
They
look
do.
at
They
this.
do
I wanna
get
try-
distracted.
I
They-
want to try the blueberry bear again because the summer's coming and I love blueberries.
Oh, trust
and
me.
The summer.
As
an-
And I'm like, yo, dude, we got like 45 minutes left.
Yeah,
and
I'm on
I've
a
got about
mission.
8 more I got to hit.
Uh-huh.
So we're moving.
As an alcoholic, I would tell you if I'm paying like $35 for a ticket to go into this place,
Yeah.
I'm trying every fucking one.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Like-
saying.
Yeah.
Like every single
no,
one.
I get that.
Do I look like a quitter?
No.
Do I want to support local business?
Of course.
Coors is right. So I gotta make
Coors.
these. I gotta make these stops, and all them are lollygagging. And I'm sorry, I'm a man on a mission. That's
And
what I'm saying.
like,
So he
where
just
did he
blows
go?
through people, shoulder
Yeah.
checking.
Get the out of my way.
Yeah.
You just see him whoa,
Now-
slow motion.
Colleen,
Yes.
how was your week?
What day is today?
I don't know.
Today's
Friday.
Friday.
Oh,
It's been
Anything-
it's been January for a year.
So
now.
It
how about
has.
this? I want to come back. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to open up with the craziness that happened in your life this last week?
January.
Yeah.
This last
month, pretty much.
Yeah.
this whole January.
Then we're going to get into our weird story. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Here's something from one of our sponsors.
We would like to thank Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry and Sierra Door Supply, providing and installing all your doors, custom closets, and decorative molding needs in Tulare, Kern, Kings, and Fresno County. Give a call to Anthony Sierra, your friendly neighborhood Finish carpenters, for a free quote today at 559-623-3054. Thank you so much for supporting the Do Over podcast.
Big shout out to Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry and Sierra Door Supply. I was hitting up Anthony and I was like, man, you know those big giant hinge doors, you know what I mean? They're like on it, just oversized on a swivel. He's like, I got you. Sent me a link to the coolest fucking doors I have ever seen. And I'm like, oh man, I need that. And he's like, man, we do that. So if you have door hanging needs, carpentry needs, you know who to hit up. Frank Sierra and Anthony Sierra. You're going to have their number right there on the commercial. Thank you for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. Now, before we get to you, Colleen, because you had kind of crazy stuff happen to you and your man, who, to give you kind of perspective here, I love Colleen and Jimmy as a couple because they are.
Me too.
One is so calm and chill about everything. And then the other one's like, which one's which? Okay.
I'm obviously the chill one.
Yeah,
Super
right.
chill.
Super chill.
Super chill.
So
Super chill.
we're going to get into that in a second, but we're finishing up our last week recap. So one thing that did happen in your boy's life. Okay. Big shout out to my busty, beautiful blonde wife, Sarah.
Yes. Retweet.
Who Colleen was not convinced even existed until recently when they actually talked to each other on the telephone. So
I'm still convinced it might have been a recording.
I mean, it could have been a recording.
I've never said that she doesn't exist. I just think that he keeps her locked in a basement.
No, he's like Joaquin
I'm
Phoenix.
not in control of her in
AI
any way.
talk, you know, it's just her.
I mean,
it's true.
I was going to say he would be the one locked in the basement.
Yeah, I would be the one locked up. But she notoriously got me the 4090 that we were talking about.
Right.
And I'm going to have Orky put in a little clip, just a little one, of when I look at the card and I start to cry.
Oh, you didn't think I was going to do it? You should have known. Oh, we see the tears. Oh, baby girl.
I can't believe you did that.
Why?
I bawled when I opened this up. I did not expect her to do that. And it was everyone. It was you guys. It was a bunch of my friends and my whole family came together to get me this graphics card. Well, the problem is that it didn't even fit into my computer.
It was so big.
It was, dude, it's obtuse, right? So I'm like, all right, we got all this equipment. We are kind of thrust into this. So I was like, I can't drop a couple of grand onto a new computer right now. So I found this company to finance it through. And basically I got just a super high-end PC that can handle, without getting bottlenecked, that graphics card. And I built it out and I just removed the graphics card from this company. Their name is Ironside. It's not sponsored or anything, but I was very impressed with their work. Their warranties are great. So they stress test it for days. It takes a little bit longer to get it, but they make sure that the components are good, that they're working because they warranty everything. So I get it yesterday and I'm doing showings for clients. We're getting this ready over here. I'm doing all this stuff. I finally get it all together. I take it home. I'm putting on the Creative Cloud suite to do editing and stuff.
Right.
I put one game on it. I'm like, all right, just see what this thing can do. Okay. See, it's like just really quickly go in and see. So I put Wukong on it.
Ooh.
I'm like, what are the default kind of because every single video game, the settings will have like a default, resolution and power and quality, right? Everything is cranked to max. I put the FPS counter on it. I'm pulling like 140 plus frames on ultra on everything. And this thing is just smooth as silk. I was like, I've never had I've had powerful computers before, but I've never had anything this powerful per generation, right? It is fucking crazy, dude.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, man, this is the most beautiful game. And guess what? I'm never going to be able to play them.
That's okay.
Ever.
I have a new idea for a
thinking that.
segment.
What?
We call it Jess Cam, right?
Oh God.
So anytime we talk about computers, entertainment news, video game news, whatever, I want it to just go strictly to Jess and just see the face go blank. Because I looked over there for a second and it was like you were looking in Omaha.
I'm sorry.
You just, nothing was going on.
This is like when you guys were talking about the Switch and I had nothing to contribute. The fact, you know what's funny is I actually do want one so I can play like Mario games on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to talk about it. Like I'm not like, oh yeah, and then this, and then this, and then this.
Here's
and so it's
you
like,
want to know how you talk about things?
No.
Well, then shut up.
So, Jess, I've been told that for taps and takes, we need to get like a paper cutout of you to
Yeah.
like place you going like this.
You guys should get her on like a stick head that you can
Yeah,
like
just put up right here.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy to go.
Hey, Jess, what do you think?
I'm happy to go. I just won't be able to contribute.
Look, it doesn't matter. You're broadening your horizons. Okay, you're playing D&D and getting kicked out. Okay,
Oh my God.
you're starting to watch movies that isn't white chicks. Like you're making moves here.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
So I'm excited for you.
Thank you,
You're gonna
Daddy.
be one of us.
Thank you, Daddy. I don't want to be one of you guys, though. You guys are nerds.
Yeah, but you're gonna be one of us. Don't worry. Now, speaking of nerds, Jimmy,
I love nerds.
your man. Okay, and this goes to show once again, hot chicks. You want someone that's gonna be all about you and super cool and always be there. Date a nerd. You are with a bona fide nerd.
Yeah.
Loves the D&Ds.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plays D&D.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Plays video games.
Yeah.
And he's the most chillest person
Ever.
you have ever met
In
your
your life.
whole life.
Mhm.
So give me the story of what happened this last couple of weeks.
Okay, so every Saturday, Jimmy goes to D&D.
Mhm.
I never go. Now, they have, their little group has gotten a little smaller recently, so I might be making a character.
Ooh.
Dun,
You can
dun,
take
dun.
mine. You can take mine.
Yeah.
She
Dun,
she
dun,
can
dun.
revive herself.
She's not needed.
I like never go with him. So I have been doing some UGC content, which is just making commercials for brands that send me products. It's like live reviews. And recently I was contracted with a brand that does like Viking jewelry. So I had gotten a Mjolnir necklace that was like really, really gorgeous.
That's kind of sick.
I'm just not into like Norse mythology on the level that I would wear a necklace regularly.
All right, fine, I'll wear it.
I was gonna say.
All right,
So
if I
the
have
reason
to.
I
I need
went
to twist my
yeah.
arm. All right, fine.
I know. I'm sorry. It's gone. So the reason I had gone to D&D was their dungeon master. He likes Norse, like Viking
Odin's
theories,
son.
and yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So then I was dropping the necklace off to him, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just leave you there, and Fef can bring you home." Shout out, Jeff.
Shout out, Jeff.
Jeff, my name Jeff.
My name-
My name Dave. So Jeff shows up and he's like dressed to the nines, and he's like, "I have a date today, guys."
Oh.
my God.
Keep it in your pants, Jeff.
Anyways, so I'm like, okay, awesome. Yeah. So you're not bringing my husband home. That's cool. So I'll just stay and hang out. So long story is I end up at this D&D match, which I'm totally not expected to be at. And I go out, and at some point, like my husband's lips start to turn like purple or look purple. Now they play outside in a garage, and it is like 40 degrees outside.
Okay.
And he had like a Mountain Dew, and it was like a purple color. And he's like, "Oh no, it's just my lips." And the guys are like, "Leave him alone, Colleen. He's fine."
He's in character as
Yeah.
Purple Lip McGee.
Yeah, obviously.
He's been a
He's
purple
busy.
lipped bard for half a decade.
Yeah, guys. And I'm like, okay, fine. So go back inside. My friend's wife is there. We make sandwiches because, you know. And then
Proper
we-
women stuff.
Yeah, you know, because they're chicks.
Yeah, we
That's
make
why.
You know,
Sandwiches.
they have to.
We were also watching football, which is what
I do love the parallel that the two girls
Mhm.
are inside watching
drinking
football,
beer, watching football,
drinking beer, watching while
making
all the
sandwiches
all the dudes are playing D&D.
in the garage.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
none of the like
great.
football. All of the girls in my girl group are like hardcore football fanatics.
So wait,
like,
Jeff, you like legit don't like football?
Period, Jeff.
That's
I'm
Well,
with you.
the way the refs are screwing the NFL.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. No, we have we do like fantasy every year, and yeah, it's like a real thing. The girls are like hardcore football. We all get together, have Mexican food, margaritas, beer, watch football, and the guys play D&D in the garage.
God, I mean, talk about being stuck between a hard plate. Those both sound awesome.
two great things happening at once.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
there's one TV in the garage, and it's laid into the table, and it's their D&D map.
Oh, that's cool.
No
That
way.
is
Yeah, it's
cool.
digital.
That's tight,
That's
dude.
sick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're giving
Orky likes that.
Yeah, you're giving him an
like,
I'm like, are we gonna get an invite? Like, what's going on?
you're giving him an orc boner over
I
there.
know.
He would have went.
Okay, so anyways, he comes inside and he's like, oh, I'm cold and like starting to not feel so great. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking like he looks gray. And my friend Clancy,
Sorry.
Just had to take a pause.
It's like he's currently dying.
yes. Okay. Yes. It's like a real thing. So my friend Clancy is like, oh, he looks like, yeah, maybe a little pale. And I'm like, dang, dude, like I must be tripping because he looks so gray. And I was like, okay, well, are you ready to go home? And he's like, yeah, let's go. You know, we get home and he's like, I think I'm going to take a bath. And we have a normal bathtub and it's our spare bathroom. And so this is not normally a thing either. And I'm like, well, do you mind if I take a bath with you? And he's like,
And he's like, yes, you
Yeah,
may.
you absolutely-
Muy,
Yes.
muy caliente.
please take a bath with me, please. So I was like, okay, I will oblige. And so we take a bath and he's like starting to like breathe kind of funny. And his fingers are gray and his feet are gray and his mouth is gray and his tongue at this point is like black. And I'm like, and he's got purple hair right now. So I'm looking at him in black and
It's-
white.
Maybe,
And his hair is
maybe he's transforming.
I'm
He's an
like
alpha.
literally looking at someone who is dead, like living death.
Right.
And I'm like tripping. And I'm like, dude, you are gray. And he's like, no, I feel fine. And I'm like, look at my hand, look at your hand, you're gray. And he's like, no, I feel fine. And then he's like, I'm starting to not feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick. And so he gets out of the bathtub. And then like, you know how you don't have to necessarily have like a medical background to like know when someone you know is like not gonna make it.
Right.
Like when someone gets super trashed and they're like walking or they're even standing and you're like, oh, this guy's jacked up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like what it's like. I'm standing behind him. We're both butt naked
Yeah.
and he's standing, but the way he's standing, I'm like, shit, he's going down.
Yeah.
And so I yell for my daughter to get a bathrobe. Lana, bring me a bathrobe. So she runs and grabs a bathrobe. I get out. I like put him up against the wall. And I'm like, if you go down, just let your knees go out
Yeah.
and just slide down the wall. She brings me the bathrobe and I'm like, here, put this on real quick. And so we left D&D at like 7:30 and it's probably maybe 8:30 right now, maybe. And he goes to put the bathrobe on and he's like taking the towel and putting it on his shoulder like he's making a phone call and the things that are coming out of his mouth don't make any sense. So he's making words that aren't really words. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah.
So I yell for my daughter again and I'm like, call 911. So she calls 911 and we're both still naked. I can't get him to get a bathrobe on. I'm just naked. I've got the dispatcher on the line. She's like, they're 3 minutes away from you. And I'm like, cool, but we're just naked in the bathroom and I can't get him out of the bathroom and I don't know what to do. He finally like kind of comes to. So we later find out, or like we kind of just figure that in that moment he had a stroke.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang.
So I finally get a bathrobe on him. He's sitting down. I get boxers on him. I'm still completely naked. I call my daughter and I'm just like literally like this. And I'm like,
Mhm.
just watch your dad stand here and I'll be right back. I go and I throw clothes on and right then and there, the doorbell rings. I let them in. They come in. They put the machines on him and everything. And his oxygen level is at an 86.
Now explain why that's bad, because I would think, hey, bees get degrees.
Yeah.
86 is cool. Why is
Yeah.
that a problem?
So your SpO2 level in a regular human being should be like a 97 roughly is like normal.
Is it what, 97 over 61?
No,
Something
just
like that?
just like your oxygen
The
level.
oxygen level
Your
is-
oxygen level is between a 0 and 100% in your body.
Got it.
On any given day, at any given time, your oxygen should be above 92.
Got it.
And normal people stick to like 98. Okay. Your brain and all your organs need oxygen in them. They need to be oxygenated in order to continue to work. How long do you think you can hold your breath?
I don't know. Maybe 45 seconds, maybe a
Yeah.
minute.
I'm not
if I
good
was-
at that at all.
Yeah, like
Okay.
30 seconds.
I get
max.
anxiety.
So that's a great example. So
Hang
when
on,
you
let's-
hold
let's
your,
test it.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no,
you
no.
you count while I keep talking. So he just turns blue and falls over. So that's a good idea. I don't think that anybody at home should start testing how long they can hold their breath.
Right,
But
yeah.
essentially, if you were to hold your breath, you're getting no oxygen. And as your brain your brain and your body is using this oxygen, it's depleting in your body, which is why within 30 to 45 seconds, you go to take
Right.
another deep breath because your brain is starving of oxygen. It needs it 24/7. So hooking up to an SpO2 monitor is something that the ambulance always does, as well as like a blood
Right, yeah.
pressure cuff, all the normal things. How long?
I didn't get far. I got 35 seconds.
Yeah, that's about, yeah.
All right. Jimmy can hold his breath abnormally long for probably about 2 minutes.
And you were saying because he was
in band for
Yeah.
years and years and years, and a big part of the instrument he played had to do with taking very long exhales.
right.
So it's not unusual for him to like be able to hold his breath or maybe breathe funny sometimes. I think
Mhm.
that he has like a side effect from it. But they hook him up and he's at 86. A medical emergency is 88. At
Ooh.
88, they're like, get to a hospital, get an oximeter connected to your finger and put oxygen on your nose. So they transport him by ambulance in the bathrobe and in my cute little heart slippers to the hospital. And the guy's like, you'll be fine. Just wait like an hour and go down there. So he says that he realizes it's like really, really serious when they don't triage him. They take him straight in. As soon as they
Really?
wheel him in, he's got 4 doctors and 4 nurses all pumping things into his body, hooking things up to him, putting oxygen on his face. It's like 9 p.m. So let's fast forward to 5 a.m. It's 5 a.m. and his oxygen's not going up. At a good time, he's at 88.
Right.
Okay, a solid 88. And they don't know what's going on. I'm there at the hospital at this time, and they have hooked him to this machine that goes all the way around his mouth and double straps to the back of his head. He doesn't have his glasses on, so he can't see, he can't talk, he can't communicate, and they're monitoring every single bit of anything that he is breathing in.
Yeah.
So they know for a fact he is getting 100% oxygen into his lungs. They're drawing blood and the blood is black
Ooh.
and it's thick. It's not showing, like when they're trying to spin it and do tests on it, it's erroring out. Nothing's working. It's just chaos. So they take him off of the oxygen and they're basically like, you've already ran through all the oxygen that we've given you.
Yeah, like all the options have been done.
Yes, it's been depleted. So he drops all the way down to 72 at one
And
point.
that's severe.
That's
severe. Okay, now, and for anyone in a medical field, if you have a patient that's at 72, you expect the patient to be hyperventilating
Mhm.
because your body is like how when you right now just tested, your body just gasps
It's
for air.
out of
Yeah.
it's out of oxygen.
It's out of
Right, right.
oxygen.
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
He's just breathing.
He's
Yeah.
just breathing. He's talking. There's 15 people in the room that are here to look at the gray guy because he's in black and white. I've never seen anything like it. And people are like asking him questions. Have you been around chemicals? Do you think you could have had cyanide poisoning? Do you
Right.
think you possibly could have done this? Have you done this drug? Have you done these drugs? They're just trying to figure things out.
There, we see your purple hair. Have
Right.
you done some drugs today?
Yes.
So how's that Molly feeling?
Yeah. So we're still in ER, and they're finally like, we're going to give you an injection, and we don't know if this is going to help. It should essentially help like right away, but if it doesn't, we're out of options. And so they give him a methylene blue injection.
Explain what methylene blue is.
So methylene blue is 100% a chemical compound that is the dye that they used to dye the original Levi jeans.
So it's a dye. It's a chemical dye.
It's a chemical dye.
Okay.
So they use it in printing. It is a liquid. It looked the color black in the syringe because it's so dark.
Right.
And they probably gave him, I would say, like 2 cc's, like a normal looking syringe, and it was probably like an inch and a half.
So why did they inject him with this chemical?
So I didn't actually know in the moment. It was like a do or die thing. And the injection took 5 minutes. And while they're injecting him, again, he's bouncing from 75 to 72. We've got probably 8 to 10 people, staff in the office that are just with their hands over their mouth, just
not understanding what's going
staring.
on.
We're all just staring at the screen.
Mhm.
And this guy is like, my husband. he is being my husband. He's like, "What's up, man?
Yeah,
You here to dump my pee?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what
you're here to see the Grady?
Yeah,
Oh,
you want
the
to see the
purple hair?
yeah."
Well, I mean, like, but you have to be, from what I've seen and from what I've learned when it comes to health related things, like you have to be optimistic about your health. Because the second,
Yeah, but he is forever the optimist.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but-
that would piss
but
me
it's-
off.
but it's
I'd
like,
be irritated.
It was
you know,
hard.
when people like,
The struggle was
you know, when people like older people, when they've kind of accepted that maybe they're at the end of their rope,
Yeah.
their health just plummets.
Yeah.
It's the second you tell your brain, I'm okay with going, that's when your body gives up.
Well,
so like he's doing the right thing, staying optimistic, having fun with it. And that's what I swear that's what keeps you alive sometimes.
I mean, that's what keeps him young for sure. That's just like who he is as a person. Now, like, don't get me wrong, after he came home and he's alive. Okay. We should have prefaced
Well, hold on.
this.
Let's go back real quick. The methylene blue injection.
So
They injected him for that because it's supposed to.
So what methylene blue does is it goes into the blood and it turns, this is my understanding, it turns the blood into a sponge for oxygen. So you are oxygenating the blood in a very chemical way. And that is just the reaction the blood has to the methylene blue, but they had injected him with, my understanding was a large dose of it because it was like do or die.
It's like you're
Right.
gonna die if you don't do this.
So for about 10 minutes, like I said, he jumped between 75 and 72, and we had no idea why he had gone from 80 to in the 70s. Like, why all of a sudden, after hours and hours of him being here, does he have even less oxygen?
Right.
And we've been literally pumping straight oxygen. So they started with the original oxygen thing where they just put it in your nose. And then he got the advanced one, which is the one that goes over your whole mouth and straps to your head and puffs oxygen straight into your face. So about 5 minutes later, all of a sudden he goes from 72, 80, 86, 88, 90. First time he's hit 90 all in hours and hours, 92, 93, 95, and he's sitting at like 95.
Wow.
And everybody is just like, woohoo, like the whole area. We had pulmonologist, we had a hemoglobinologist, we had your regular ER doctors, we had probably 6 to 8 nurses, and even one of the doctors was like, you have so many people in here visiting you from the hospital because everybody wants a piece of this case
Mhm.
because you're like an anomaly. We don't know what's going on.
Like they
it's
can't
insane.
diagnose him.
Like, yeah, the doctor was like, I've been a doctor in a hospital for the last 16 years and I've never seen anything like what we're dealing with today.
Crazy.
So he goes from ER to urgent care. So they transfer him. He's in the hospital for several days. He never falls back below the standard 97. They're monitoring him to make sure that his blood doesn't dissolve. I'm assuming that that's like it was because of
Like
the
a byproduct.
of the methylene blue injection. They just wanted to monitor him for a couple of days and he's been normal. So he's been diagnosed with hemoglobin. No, oh man.
I think you sent it
I
to
did
me.
send it to you.
on.
Hemoglobin, shoot.
Hold on. Let me
I
pull
probably
it up.
couldn't get it either.
Methemoglobinemia.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Boom.
So,
Wow.
which is extremely rare.
Yeah, so less than 1% of the population has methemoglobinemia, but his specific kind is hemoglobin M disease. And less than 100 people worldwide have that.
Oh, lucky Jimmy.
Lucky
Yes.
Jimmy.
I feel like you need to go and get a scratcher.
That's what I told her. I was like, go have him buy a lotto ticket. He's
So-
special.
Well,
Yeah.
so then we had a follow up with his doctor not that long ago. And during all of the chaos, even though he was just being Jimmy and just like, hey guys, what's up? What are you doing? Come visit me. Like, totally fine. In that time, he had a heart attack. So during all
Stroke,
of this,
heart attack.
yeah, and he's younger than me. He was born in 1990. However old that makes him. How old am I?
That'd be 33.
He's 36.
No, I'm 36. No, I'm
90.
37.
No,
What,
he'd be
90, 90? Oh, no. He'd
No,
be
he's
35. 35.
Oh, then I'm
Okay.
38.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, how am I? I don't know.
He
how
tells,
I
me,
don't know.
he tells me how old I am. So super young for a heart attack, right?
Right.
But so he's on a baby aspirin every day. He's on vitamin C, which has something to do with your hemoglobin every day. He also takes several others. So now we've resorted to getting him a little pill jar, and he takes like 10 different pills that are just this is the new norm. This is the
Well,
new norm.
Little
round
M&Ms.
of applause for medical science. I don't even know how one would figure out a dye for blue jeans would shoot
I know.
oxygen into your blood.
so,
But
so of course, my husband's response after they inject him, and he's like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's methylene blue." And he's like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's the dye for jeans." And he goes, "Who was the first guy to inject this in his veins?"
I mean, that's a good question. How did they even
It's a great
fucking
question.
figure it out?
Why do you care right now? Right now, it's going to save your life.
No,
I bet it was a Levi. Probably a Levi.
One of the Levi's, he's like, I live for methylene blue.
This is my.
Whoa,
this
I'm
is
getting high off this oxygen.
No, it's probably like, give us that color of blue. We need it for our jeans. You'll never have it. You're gonna have to kill me for it.
You'll never get my dye. And now, round of applause for medical science and for Colleen's new tattoo that she got,
Yes.
which is in an awkward space under her boob. She's like, I got a tattoo. I'm like, cool, where? Let me see it. And she's like, I can't because I'm married. And I'm like, okay.
That's not how I said
you
it.
don't
I
say
said, out of respect for my husband and your wife, I will
my
not
God.
send you a picture of it.
Hold on.
However, I will show
That's
you.
very
Elliot, can I have a question? Hold on.
Yep.
Question. Okay.
That's
no.
very
If someone's like, hey, I got a tattoo, you're like, cool, let me see it. Because you're assuming
That's natural. That's a natural
'cause
question.
If you get like a tattoo in a naughty spot, that's usually private. So you don't even bring it up. You don't even say you got it.
Well, I feel like if you say like, if I got it near my groiner,
If
if I got one,
she got
I'd
it
be like,
circling her
I
nip.
know. That's, right?
it's a pair. It's a hand like this right around the
Right.
areola.
Yes.
So when she says, she's like, oh, I can't because, I'm married
But I
and out
also
of
said
respect.
I have
I'm like,
no problem
don't-
showing you. I'm just not going to take a picture of my under tata and I just am not going to take a picture.
She got
of
it
She's
because
so classy and
it's
cute.
close to her heart, which is
Yeah,
super sweet.
So sweet.
But that's
And,
where your
right on
lungs
my
are. The heart would be over here.
the heart's right
I
here.
mean, yeah. Well, it's
I
on
thought
the
it was,
you-
like,
so
it's
technically
right
like,
here.
your heart's like right,
Yeah, it's right in here.
around
It's
here.
not center. It's
not on
that's where
the-
your sternum
But
is.
I already have a tattoo on my chest. So yeah, it was like on the side of my heart, but along my lung. So and it just is in
Got it.
cursive
Well,
and says methylene blue.
we are all about methylene blue
We
here at the
love
Do Over
methylene
podcast because
blue.
it saved Jimmy's life.
Dude,
Yes.
okay, so when I get this tattoo, I'm in Texas, right? So after Jimmy comes home, the day after Jimmy comes home, I'm contracted to do some content for a girls group trip, which is in Texas. So I flew and left him. Bye. You're home.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
alive. Bye.
Later,
Yeah.
Tater.
See, you almost died. You had a heart attack and a stroke.
I
Peace.
didn't
You're
know
so
that at
strong.
the time. Yeah, you're so
strong.
That's
Yeah,
why I
we find
married
that
you.
me.
You're
Yeah,
such a
you're-
strong
okay,
man.
Daddy.
You are a strong, independent man.
Stroke survivor.
I know. Look at
He's a
Yeah,
stroke
that-
of genius over
got
there.
some sexy in it. So I was like, deuces. But the girls on the trip were like, oh, we want to get a Texas tattoo. Like, we all want to get a tattoo. And I'm like, no, I need to pack. My flight's early tomorrow. Go ahead and take me home. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, can we drop the girls off at the tattoo shop before we go to drop you off at the house? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. We get there, all the girls are getting out. I'm like, you know what? Like,
we're here. Why not?
Like, how long is it
we're
gonna
already-
be? I don't know.
Let's be
I cannot walk
realistic.
into a tattoo shop.
Yeah. So then I'm
I
like,
can't.
okay, but I'm going to get
Yeah.
this tattoo for my husband. I'm not going to tell him I got it and I did it. I showed it him when we got home. But I'm telling the tattoo artist, he goes, what do you want? And I said, methylene blue. And he goes, I've probably tried something like that. And I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
probably
no,
not.
No, brother. No, brother.
Oh yeah, can you breathe like super well? You tell me.
Well, I mean, it is. kind
it's
of a
literally spelled METH.
right,
So,
methylene blue.
methylene
Yeah.
blue.
But I mean, like, that's crazy, and it's a crazy story, but we are very thankful that
Yes.
Yeah, very happy
for methylene blue to save the Jimmies.
Yeah.
All right, now
Jimmer.
with that, we got to do our effing weird story. It's now time for their weird, and we would actually have our intros if Elliot didn't take too long. Elliot took too long.
I love it.
I
like
do
it
too.
too.
I think we should keep it. I think we should keep it forever.
I want
Yeah.
it to stay. Oh, no, not forever. You said the first year.
I
The
did.
first
I
year,
did.
yeah.
I did say for the
Yeah.
first year. So we
And
got.
then after a year, you're like official. So then that can be like you're graduating.
So what are we at? We're at like 48 more weeks of it.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Yeah.
Well, and also we are
Love
trying. We are going to celebrate hitting our partnership with YouTube. We're about 145 subs away. So go sub to the YouTube, especially if
Subscribe.
you're watching it. It's
Yeah.
free.
Where's
All
the
you have to do
camera?
is
Where's the
log
camera?
into your Gmail.
Subscribe.
Yes,
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Where are you? Hey.
Yeah,
the camera
you.
over there. Hey, you. Hey,
Subscribe.
dummy. Subscribe.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Subscribe.
We are almost a
Yeah.
partner. That's going to help us become even bigger, have more exposure, and it's going to help us out a lot. So please, it's free to do it. Now, it's time for Their Effing Weird. Now, listen, I don't think this is weird. I think it's brilliant.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
I think it's a brilliant story.
Genius.
Man launches villain for hire service that lets clients pose as heroes. So, a Malaysian man has sparked controversy on social media by announcing an ingenious service where he rents himself out as a villain that harasses clients, their partners, allowing the latter to pose as heroes by confronting him. So earlier this month, 28-year-old Shazali Solomon took Malaysian social media by storm by announcing a villain for hire service that would allow clients to show off their masculinity by making a big impression on their partners or romantic crushes. After being told that his unkempt long hair and biker clothing make him look like a gang member, Suleiman was inspired to start a service that relied on his physical appearance to make a profit. For a fee, clients can set up a time and a place where he would show up, pick on their partner, thus giving them a chance to intervene and pose as a hero or a knight in shining armor.
Okay, question.
That's
my
so dope.
my first question. Let's say it works, right?
Yeah.
Like guy and girl go out on a date, guy hires this guy to be a villain, right? And then dude beats up the guy, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you let's say the relationship goes great because of it and they end up getting married. Do you invite him to the wedding?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
He's part of your
No,
origin
no,
story.
no.
The origin
No,
story.
you can't.
No, you can't.
Because then
So
she'll
wait,
see.
She'll know it was
Oh,
a setup.
I would, see, no. I would
Yeah.
totally, if my boyfriend did all this and then like before we got married, he was like, oh, I set that up. I would be like,
Oh,
take
yeah.
me now.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
so,
But see,
yeah,
some
most
people,
girls
but
would be
no,
like,
but
no.
if you
No.
no, because
Well,
think
then you
about
don't
it,
want to marry
some
those ones.
people would say you're building something off a lie.
lie. Yes.
Right.
No.
So, true story. Both of my longest relationships, my son's mom, and of course, my longest, which is Sarah, my beautiful Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
both of these, I had a physical confrontation with another man early on in the relationship that they both witnessed both times. So the first one was
this is his confession to tell us it
Right.
was set up.
well, no.
He met Shazam.
No.
Yeah.
15 years ago, we had this idea.
Long story short, yeah, I've been doing
I
this
know.
for
He's
decades.
all welcome in, Jason.
So long story short, we were in a movie theater. A drunk dude was like, he was acting shifty, saying kind of crazy shit. And he looked up and he's like, well, you know, she died. So it, I'm just going to make all you pay. And he started like grabbing at something in his bag.
Oh.
So I stood up and I was like,
Nope.
hey, bud. Because he was saying he wanted a cigarette in his drunk rant. I was like, come here. Come on. I got a cigarette. He comes up the stairs. So I'm like midway up the stairs. He's walking up. I give him a cigarette. I'm like, here you go, dude. Here's your cigarette to get him away from whatever he was doing. And he's like, well, now I'm going to have to fuck you up because he's like clearly drunk. And I just go, and I like just simple, like, and he just
I
like
love that.
falls down there. I
Should've
get on top of
Sparta kicked
him.
Just right down.
I put him in a headlock. As one of the people that were in the seats come down, I'm like, go get security. I'm holding this guy. He's struggling. And then mid struggle, he's like, I should have stayed in my seat. And I was like, yeah, you probably should have stayed in your seat. So they come pick him up. They ask us to leave as well. Just me. And they're like, thanks. We're sorry about that. We're going to comp you the movie and give you tickets to another movie. sorry about this. I'm like, what was in his bag? They're like, we can't disclose that. So I think he had a gun.
This is why I can't go to the theaters.
I don't do movie theaters either.
So,
And I'm finna go to the theaters tonight.
yeah. So I was like, all right.
Jimmy and I have a movie contract.
Yeah.
So then we ended up having a child together, and we were engaged at 3.5 years. We were together. Then, long story short, on this other one, my drunk roommate was having someone. So when I moved in with my friend, her name's Essence, there was one guy that I didn't want there. I got a bad taste in my mouth with this dude.
Was his name
like,
Evan?
No, I'm not even going to say his name. I was just like, dude, hey, did I miss something on that or?
Evanescence.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that went right over my head. Right over my head.
I got you, Pookie Wookie.
There was one guy that I was like,
Wake me up.
shut the f*** up.
I'm trying to tell a real story.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so
sorry.
just do it.
We're done. We're done.
I'm listening.
I don't think you're done.
We're done. I swear. Scout's honor.
Okay.
I was never a scout.
So there's one of her friends that was like, never invite this guy here. Like, if we're going to live together, this is my one boundary. Do not invite this guy. Within 4 days, he's already in there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I will try to be a big boy and just tolerate him and be nice, whatever. It did not take but like a week. She was like crazy drunk out. This guy calls me up and he calls me a bitch or something because he's also drunk. I'm like, all right, I'll see you when I get there. And I hang up because they can't get inside for some reason. I call the police. I'm like, there's a physical altercation that's about to happen. And I'm not even there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm telling you right now, this guy's going to try to fight me. I'm going to fight him. I'm warning you now. Come out there. I get up there. He's parked in front of our place. Sarah and I are just because we went to go find her because she was like drunk and like,
right.
I open up the door. I'm like, get out. When she gets out, he comes around and starts. And I'm like, no. And we're facing each other. Sarah is sitting right here. She's right here. And in her drunken stupor, she goes, he hit me, like about me. And I did not hit her. So then he comes and he tries to fight me. And I just mollywomp this kid for, So we're going back and forth. He's drunk. He starts to get in his car after the cops show up. And I'm also on top of him, like choking him out at the end to just keep him where he's at. Cause I want the cops to deal with him. One of the cops comes up to me and is like, I could arrest you for, fighting. I was like, okay, hold on. Can I just explain myself real quick? I'm sober. I'm not drunk. They are super drunk. He's drunk driving. He started an altercation with me. I tried to de-escalate the situation. He then tried to fight me. I pay my taxes and I'm not breaking any laws and I'm at my own house because I told him to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you called ahead.
Yeah.
You called ahead.
And then the cop's like, all right. And he just like walks, they arrest him. 14 years later, maybe it's a good luck charm. Maybe fighting someone and winning in front of a woman is a good luck charm for a relationship.
I'm not saying it's unattractive to do that.
No.
I don't think my husband's
ever
been in a fight. No.
But it's a lie.
Chris
at the end
for
of the day.
sure has never been in a fight.
I would want to do it in front of like a business partner per se. Maybe you're like, hey, let's get this deal done. Let's meet at coffee, right?
Right.
And we'll talk all the details. And then this guy is picking on my client, and I'm like, oh yeah, you think you're some tough guy? You just start whopping this guy.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. And they're like, he defended my honor.
And then you're
That's
the
how you
security
get-
guard for Beyonce.
And it's like, now, damn it, man.
Sign that deal.
Damn it, man. You know how to get stuff done. Put her there, partner. Boom. You just got money in your pocket.
Would
you
you
give him a percentage?
I
You're
like
chilling.
that you're monetizing this.
Do you think that you would get the same feeling if instead of like a physical altercation with someone, he just completely outsmarts them and makes them look stupid in front of everyone?
I would
You get
love
the same feeling, right?
I would love to sit in on one of his hearings that he does but he won't let me because he fears me going, okay, daddy, because that's what I would do.
I was like thinking in my head, she'd be like, ooh, go Pookie.
Okay, Pookie. No, I would. I don't
be there.
That's right. You guilty, bitch.
Judge, permission to slay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I do like when I like hear him talking to his clients. I'll kind of eavesdrop sometimes, and I'm like, That was a big word. I told him on one of our first dates, I was like, one of the things I'm giving you permission to like whisper in my ear, like smart things. And he was like, you want me to be like pretentious? And I'm like, pretentious?
You're all what? What was that word?
Whoa,
Date night for them. They're sitting on the couch. Silks opens up a dictionary and he just starts reading words into her ear. She's like, don't stop.
Ooh, this is so good. It does it for me, daddy.
No, I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. But the one physical altercation I've ever actually been into, my boyfriend at the time did not like it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were fighting?
I was fighting.
And he was like,
And he was like, well, he didn't see it because it was in the girls' locker room in high school. He didn't see it. But afterward, I was like, listen to what I just did.
Right.
And he was like, you're insane. And I was like, yeah, I am. No, he did not like it.
Were you drunk?
No, I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
She was in the
And she
locker
was a
room.
good girl.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, and I didn't drink till I was 21.
Oh, yeah. This is purity, Jess,
This is
right?
pure. No, this is what
purity
made me
rage.
mad. Had a lot of pent up rage inside me, obviously. But this girl who was a redhead, but not like. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Is it because I'm a redhead?
No,
Oh, okay.
there are certain types of red hair. There's really, really orangey red hair, and then there's other red hair. Okay,
Right.
so she had really, really orangey red hair. So I had just gotten spray tanned for prom.
I love this story.
And she comes up to me, and I didn't know we had beef like that. Like I don't think we were friends, but I didn't know we had beef.
Right.
Was her name Wendy's?
She might as well have been.
Wendy.
It's like, we got the beef.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
Wendy's a redhead, though. So.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
too.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. You got that one.
4D brain. Right there,
Yeah.
Okay?
But she comes up to me and she goes, you look like a carrot. And me being me, I'm like, I look like a carrot? Me. Coming from
You're like,
you.
oh.
Yeah, I'm like, coming
Pot
from
calling
you.
the kettle orange.
Literally. And I grabbed her by the shoulders and I went boom and like hit her against the lockers. And I go, don't call me that. And she literally was like, and like stormed off and told on me. And my cheer coach was like, what did you just do? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I saw you do that. What happened? I'm like, coach, she just told me I look like a carrot.
Yeah.
And she was like, so you did that? And I'm like, I thought it was logical.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think defending yourself is fine. Look, I feel like if you look at comment sections everywhere and how horrible people are to each other through the anonymity of not being able to get punched in your face, there should be a clause that if you talk some you get punched in your face.
Sorry.
And then you know what? A lot more people would be a lot more polite.
Mm-hmm.
They would be more polite to be. You know, I think a good thing would be anyone that is horrible, like online, you would be required. Like you can be horrible.
Yeah.
But you're required to put your physical address.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
be as horrible as you want.
Yeah.
But put the address.
Yeah.
It's like required so you can get that smoke. And you know what? People would shut the up immediately.
Yeah.
Because the keyboard warriors out there, people on Twitter with all their burners and all the bullshit that they talk, they say that because there's no question that they're not going to get punched in the fucking face.
Yep.
Person to person, most of that, I would say 85% of that would never get said to
like
anyone in person.
95%.
Yeah.
They would be
Yeah.
P's and Q's
Yeah.
are all tight and sweet because they
Yep.
don't want to get socked in the head.
How funny would it be?
We
though,
need to normalize socking people in the head.
How funny would it be
I
though
don't
if
know
like
about all that.
the biggest trash talker was like a 6'7" bodybuilder?
Yeah, he's like, bring it. Here's my address.
The one guy. He's just got all. He's like begging for it. He's like, I've
He's
been
all,
training.
please show up.
I've been
Please.
training for 30 years for this moment.
Yeah.
I
Just trying
had.
to set everybody off.
I didn't fight this guy. There was a dude, huge guy. He was like known for being like fucking roids and huge and all that in high school. And in your stupidity young years, probably going around trying to be impressive to people or whatever. He was going around saying he'll pay someone $200 to fight him. Now at that time, I could kick like a motherfucker. and I was in really good shape.
Was this in your hacky sack days?
It was.
Oh yeah.
And like
feet have never been stronger.
No. Like I had a 90-pound heavy bag. I could whoop that motherfucker. Like I could kick. So I was like, he was going up. He offered, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, it's $200. Like even if I lose, right?
Okay, so you get the 200 regardless of outcome.
Regardless, it's just to fight him. So and when I say this guy was gigantic, I mean,
like, are there like moderators? Like, if you lose, like,
I'm gonna get to
making sure that you're like alive?
I'm getting to that. So we're in the middle of this party, and I'm like considering it, and then I'm like, it's not worth it. I don't trust the people around here. A, that I'll get that money, and B, no one else will jump in if it doesn't go the way that they're assuming it's gonna go. So I say no. The skinny kid in the back was like, I'll take that.
Oh, period.
And
because he's already been beat up a bunch.
Well, he's a skinny, he was like 4 inches shorter than me, skinny dude. Okay. And this guy that was saying this is about 3 inches taller than me and outweighs me by 100 pounds at the time. Muscle. Like he was
it's just a tank of human.
He was doping, like for sure. He was a big, giant doping dude. So he's like, I'll take that bet. So they put the money to a third party. Okay. They're holding it. This little boy whooped the shit out of that guy embarrassingly. Like
the little guy did?
Yes.
The little guy beat the living out of this guy to where they had to like push him off because they were afraid for his safety.
Okay, David and Goliath.
And I was like, you know what? That's kind of what you get for being an asshole going around trying to pay people to fight you. Like, who the are you,
yeah, that's
dude?
wild.
Like, it's crazy. That shit's crazy.
Maybe he's into that. Maybe he just wants to get beat up.
Yeah.
You know what? True. He probably does.
He definitely thought his shit did not stink.
Well,
but
he probably wanted to get beat up by a man because there is that kink. That
maybe
men like to get beat up by each other, but they don't want to say for what. Like, he didn't want to come out and say,
maybe
like,
he was into it.
Yeah. Like, you know?
So,
was this back in your high school days?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was 1 year out of high school. It was same like groups of people, but I mean, it was. So anyways, villain for hire. Round of applause.
I do like it.
I
like the idea.
I like it.
Okay. And it brought on a good conversation. We're going to take a little break. We'll come right back. We got a couple things that we're going to talk about. We got Not As Fake News. TV on the radio a little bit later. We got some open breaks that we need to get to. Episode 5 of the Do Over podcast happening right now. We would like to thank Horn Photo, the official equipment sponsor of the Do Over podcast. Those guys have been around for almost 100 years. That's legit. They're right there in the Villaggio, and all through the month of February, they are offering 20% off photo restoration services as well as photo archiving services. It's not only cameras and stuff over there. They have frames, they have printing services, they have everything you need. It's the one-stop shop for all of your photography needs. Horn Photo, making memories last since 1937. Big shout out to Horn Photo, the official equipment sponsor of the Do Over podcast right now through the month of February. 20% off of photo archiving services, also restoration services. So if you have old photos of like family members that are a little bit rough, you can take them in there. They can digitally remaster them and do prints for you. They do prints. They have a bunch of stuff other than just camera equipment. So go and check them out. They've been in business since 1937. Making memories last for almost, they're creeping up kind of close to 90 to 100 years. I like to round up a long time. So Horn Photo in the Villaggio, go and tell them that the Do Over sent you. Now, there's a couple things I want to get over because Elliot, you said you had a fast food hack that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, dude, I have a Chipotle hack. And it's super easy because nothing's worse than when you order Chipotle to pick up, right? And you get it, and it's kind of wimpy. Right?
Yeah, kind of chintzy.
Especially when you're spending that kind of money on Chipotle, right? I found out, though, that if you change your name to something kind of funny and something kind of like hinting to load it up, the workers typically load it up. So we changed our name from like... We changed our name from like my name or Lady Jam's name to Stack Dat Boy. I kid you not. For like the last month and a half, our Chipotle orders have been heavy.
No.
I'm talking.
This is not real.
I'm telling you, man, change your name on Chipotle to something kind of funny about like loaded up or something like that.
Fully loaded Drew.
Yeah.
Something
like I'm telling you, since we've like, it used to just be her name, we've changed it to Stack Dat and then last name Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in, you're like, I got an order for Stack Dat Boy. I'm telling you, the orders have gotten like twice in size.
There's no way.
That's insane.
I have to try this.
You have
Gotta
to.
try. I'm
I
telling you,
have to try this.
Stack that boy has been an MVP of January.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it tonight.
Do it.
I'm gonna see.
Do it.
I need you know what I need? I need like a control,
Yeah.
right? I need to just do an order and then do the same exact order
Send one.
with fully loaded Drew,
Yes.
right? Fill that bowl up.
But you got to
bust
do
them
two
bowl.
different Chipotles, though. You can't
Yeah,
do them
so
in
they
the
don't
same.
No,
suspect
here's-
We all know that the right Chipotle
It'll
to
be
go to is
sus.
at Palm and San Jose.
Absolutely.
Okay, that
Now,
is the right Chipotle. Fig
what
Garden.
here's what you do. You do one name like Billy,
Mhm.
right? Billy, nerd. And then you do one like,
Bet you he's got a hot wife.
and then you,
Billy does have a hot wife.
and then you do Fill My Belly. Tell me which one. Tell me which one. Tell me which one gets better.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you though. It's gonna be Fill My Belly.
Tell me this. Who do you think in all the fast food is the most chintzy right now? Because
Carl's
okay,
Jr.
you know what I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
Elliot.
real.
Yes. Not
Yeah.
only are they horribly expensive,
with Taco
Oh my
Bell.
gosh.
I was gonna
Being
say
a
that
sneaky
too.
second.
Taco Bell's slacking.
Taco Bell is not the same as
Yeah.
what Taco Bell was 4
Yeah.
years ago. Not even close.
I love their
Yes.
chicken nuggets.
I'm afraid.
They're all right.
They're
I've
gone.
tried them.
them.
They're
They're
not
gone.
bad.
Hey,
They're great.
they're
not
all
bad.
right.
They're not bad.
Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
not only is fucking horribly expensive,
Oh
like
my God.
so goddamn expensive,
Mm.
but if I order crisp cut fries, it already comes in a wimpy box,
Mhm.
and then it's like loosely filled in halfway.
Yep.
And then they're like not crispy like
No.
they used to be. They're like soggy.
And I spent
Mhm.
$6 on it.
You know what you need? You
Load
need.
that
Insane.
shit up,
You need to
dude.
stack that boy.
You need to stack that
You
boy.
need to stack that boy.
Stack that boy. Okay, what do you think? What's the chintiest fast food that you've gotten? Like where they really skimp out on you?
Oh, Subway.
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 And you're
Because
right
they-
there.
yeah.
They stare at you while they're doing it.
Well, no.
That's-
so that's
They do look
order,
at you.
Mobile
Yeah.
order
Yeah.
because they've had the like $6.99, like they had like a $6.99 or $7.99 foot long, and then they had like a $6.99 or $7.99 foot long meal. And so I was ordering and picking up for work, and I was literally like, "You hollowed out the bread, and I have one piece of bacon in my BLT."
Like what the hell?
This
It's
is
a
insane.
BLT.
I was literally like,
Yeah.
I'm just eating bread for lunch. I took a picture of it. It was like, look at my
Well,
toast.
I mean,
Yeah, my
Subway
toast.
has been taking L after L for like the last decade or
Silks
two.
loves it.
I know he does. He's a pervert.
okay,
it's
wait,
all right,
No,
dude.
No,
It-
hang on a
in the food chain, though, think about it. There are other sub shops that have gone kaput.
That's
and
because
Subway has still.
No, that's because
Long live
Champ.
Porter subs.
Yeah, Porter Subs was one of them.
Quiznos.
I miss
and Quiznos,
Yep,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, see,
No,
so Subway's like still.
Still in the game.
no. The reason why though is because Subway lets you franchise within a mile of itself.
True. There is
So,
one on every corner.
You can put as many
Mhm.
Subways as you can have, right?
There's like one in every gas station.
But the problem is with that is that Subway eats its own competition. So like one Subway will take out another Subway, but there's so many franchises of Subway that they take out everybody else. They're whores.
Mm.
But problem with Subway is one, the tuna came out and they were like, oh, this isn't even fish. We're like, what have we
Right,
been
yeah.
eating? Two, Jared.
Yeah,
I guess-
Enough
Oh,
said.
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
schmit of schmel.
Which I guess technically you should have put Jared first, but you know, both mystery meats, I guess. And then three, on top of that, used to have the $5 foot long,
Which was a
Oh
great
my
deal.
God. Yes,
one of the
so
catchiest
great.
jingles of
Yes.
all time.
Yeah,
And it was a great deal.
Yep.
You know what it is now?
they're like $10.99.
It's 6 for 6 inches.
Ugh.
It's now it's
Yeah.
$1 more and half the food. You know what?
Yeah, no.
Bleep you,
Yeah,
Subway.
they're up
That's
to
right.
Chipotle
Yeah, they're-
prices with
they're
that.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with all that being said, we got to do our news.
It's time to do not add as fake news. We would have proper intros, but Elliot took too long. You took forever. Blame Elliot.
Blame Elliot
Love it.
indeed.
Love
I
it.
do too. I
Let's-
really
let's play-
love it. It's like
Now-
my favorite.
It's very homey. That's why.
We got to talk about this. We're kind of late to it because it kind of happened like right after we recorded or around the time that we recorded the last episode. Now, I'm going to preface all this by saying, with our not as fake news stories, that politically our official stance is fluid. We are fluid
We
in our
hate everybody.
Yes, we hate all politicians, all of them. But I'm open-minded enough that I don't pick one ideology over another. I pick and choose. I have conservative beliefs. I have liberal beliefs. Everyone is kind of unfairly in the social media realm, at least, not always in your day-to-day, but at least on the internet, they force you to pick a side or else you're the enemy, which is just crazy bonkers thinking. It's not the proper way to think. Okay. And I think that most people have things that they support that tend to lean to one side or the other, mostly. Okay. So I'm all over the place. So I don't see news stories like this and immediately jump to a conclusion. But this one's kind of crazy. Okay.
Yep.
So did you see the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Well, what thing? There's lots of things.
The whole Nazi thing.
Are we talking about when he did his speech and he was like,
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did
the
the chest.
hand on the heart
yeah,
thing.
oh yeah, yeah, he did this.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Now,
I'm
gonna say this.
I saw it. I remember
don't-
being like, oh my God.
Elon.
What are you
Musk.
thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, okay, is that I don't think, at least, I don't know this guy.
I mean,
I don't know if he's like,
Yeah,
but-
yeah. You
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know this guy. I mean, but I don't think he's like a Nazi, but here's the problem. That salute
Oh, it was bad.
It's very
It's so
specific.
bad.
it's
It
very
was so bad.
Nazi-esque.
Well, okay.
Well, and
right?
he's like not, he
got
wasn't born here.
Yeah.
So it's like, then he's like foreign. So it kind of makes it a little worse. And like, don't get me wrong. Like I will straight up say like, I'm a musketeer. Like
You're a Stan.
I think he's a brilliant human being. You don't have to necessarily agree with all of someone's ideals,
Yeah.
but I saw that and I was like, oh, that's going to be hard.
It's
to
a
come
bad
back
look.
from.
And I think
It's gonna
Well,
be hard.
Yes.
how, like, I get it. You're ramped up. You got a crowd cheering for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things you could have done. That's easy.
Yes.
This is easy.
That's
and-
easy.
I have a
Yeah.
hot take as a full-blooded German girl.
Bring it back.
Who might even
Normalize
Right.
it.
I might even be related to,
That's
those
not-
people back in the day. I
That's
don't
not
know. It's not. But this is the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
it was 100%. It's not
very,
right.
hold
It's
on,
not right.
look. It was very Seagal-ish. And again, I don't think he's a Nazi. I don't think, at least.
Right.
The problem is that certain people in that area, and I'm not saying, so please, this is why it's so dangerous on the internet, specifically talking about this. And I qualified before. I have beliefs on all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people that are associated with this administration, okay, and people that support them, some are legitimate Nazis.
Yeah.
Some are bigots, okay, that are very vocal. Now, there's also conservatives that are just normal people that are fiscally conservative, that have conservative
I'd say
values. That
more often than not, they're just
Yeah.
normal people.
they're just normal people. I'm not saying that they're bigots, but a lot of very vocal Nazi white power assholes have also very publicly supported this administration. And when you're in front of the whole fucking world and you choose to do that, it does not seem like an isolated, like, oopsie, my heart goes to you. It seems like he was doing a Nazi salute.
Well, and I saw a video. It was like a side by side of
Yeah.
him next to a Nazi and saying,
Right.
and it was the craziest. It just, to me, I don't know if he's a Nazi either. Obviously, I don't really pay attention to him at all, or politicians in general, but that seemed a little coincidental to me.
And
I think it's so crazy because, so again, I said I was a skeptic. Anything I see on the internet, I'm immediately skeptical. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, like, what are they doing? They're totally blowing this out of proportion, right? This is crazy. I go and I watched them all. Oh my God.
yeah.
yeah,
He
And
did
it was-
that.
And here's the
I'm like horrified.
Here's
Yeah.
the problem. And I will say the same thing about liberal administrations and
Yeah.
the kooks on that end that do kooky weird like that woman that was like, if you support like sexy bodies, that's a white power kind of version of what sexy is, or I don't even know how she said it. It was
Yeah.
just, there's
It's
kooky
weird.
people over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I would call that out as being stupid, and if you pander to those people, that's the wrong thing to do. So I'll call them out on this. That gives normal people that are just Republicans, maybe they're big on 2A, maybe they're big on abortion
Mhm.
being wrong, whatever. Even though I don't agree with the abortion stance. The 2A stuff, I do.
Yeah.
I love firearms, and I feel like, I feel like it gives the normal people on that side a bad look. And it's a really
100%.
bad thing. It's a bad thing to do. And it empowers the wrong people on that side to be like, yep, see, we're taking over. That's a bad look. And it's just a stupid thing to do in general.
Yeah.
But I do love the cognitive dissonance of people that come up, like Joe Rogan, who is a friend with him.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a friendship, right? And he's like, no, he's saying from my heart. I'm like, dude, he did a Nazi.
Yeah,
Like, call it
it's
what
hard.
it is. Don't try to.
I mean, but he's like an awkward. So Elon Musk is like an awkward guy anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, like the whole fight thing between him and Zuckerberg.
Mhm.
Okay. Like if you actually follow that and watch the way it plays out, like he's just like an awkward, weird, like kind of individual.
Which one?
Both.
Like,
But I'm specifically
both.
talking about like Elon. So it's like one thing to be like, oh, like he didn't mean it this way. And I can see how it's portrayed this way, but it's different when someone is just like, oh no, it didn't look like that, And then
Or
it's
like it's not.
yeah, it's almost like you're covering up or making excuses for something that like obviously like it's
what
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw a video of a girl that was like, oh, that wasn't the Nazi salute. Do that at work. Do it to your boss.
Yeah,
I'm all period. Yeah, do it at work.
Do it with no context. That's like really what it is.
Yeah.
If you can do it with no context and not everybody in the room is like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
And,
What
and
did she do?
I'll tell you this, and we can end off this specific topic by saying this. Even though that I have beliefs, again, I'm going to qualify this so we don't hear a bunch of assholes in the comments on both sides of the aisle. I do not support Nazis.
No.
I think they suck. I
Mhm.
Nazis. And it's so funny that somehow a lot of people are kind of starting to sympathize with Nazis. And I'm like, dude, your granddad had 13 confirmed Nazi kills and is rolling in his grave right now that you're saying it. So conservatism in general is not a bad thing, just like some essences of liberalism is also not bad. It's the implementation of what people do on the extreme end of these two sides that are f***ing it up for the rest of us. So stop with that.
You want to talk about somebody messing it up for the other people?
Yeah.
Let's go to UFC.
Okay.
Did you see this story
No.
of UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell
No.
in a podcast? And we'll just keep the Nazi train going.
Yeah.
God, he's on this podcast, the Arkansanity podcast, right? Arkansanity podcast. And Bryce makes some very, very, very bad points. Some of the worst, easily the worst take you'll hear on the internet possibly ever.
Like
Okay.
what? Like what? I want to know.
Yeah.
These are quotes, okay? So don't
Not
at me.
coming from Elliot's mouth.
Yes. This is a quote from what Bryce Mitchell said. I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based on my own research.
I love it. My own research.
Not my public education indoctrination.
Oh, great.
I do really think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with, the American fighter said. More quotes. More quotes. More quotes.
My God.
He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them all into gays.
Oh my God.
One more. Again, these are his words, not mine.
My God.
Not Elliot's words, someone else's.
They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. How do you know where the first tranny surgery was or ever was? Happened to be in Germany before Hitler took over. End quotes.
This is a guy that has clearly been. I love that he says the public. I love that he says that the public education system is what indoctrinated him. He is a clear extremist, doo-doo brain. Like he has smooth brain syndrome going on.
Dana White reacts because, again, this is one of his fighters.
Right, yeah.
And he's in a PR nightmare now. In a statement by UFC boss Dana White, released a statement calling Hitler the most evil human being ever.
Yeah.
Hitler is one of the most disgusting and evil human beings to ever walk the face of the earth, and anyone that even tries to take in opposition is a moron.
Yeah, good.
Retweet.
That's the problem with the internet and social media. You provide a platform to a lot of dumb and ignorant people.
Yeah.
So
Go Dana.
what's his status in as far as a fighter is concerned?
Now,
Is he still in or?
I'm not sure what the...
And listen, let me qualify this because this is going to be a hot take that a lot of people don't like because I kind of talked about this a couple episodes ago. I support his right to think that. He can think.
Totally.
Dana think whatever he wants.
Here's another
no, not Dana. I'm talking about the other guy.
I know. Dana's got a quote here.
Okay.
It's free speech. That's the beautiful thing about this business. For all of you who hate Bryce Mitchell, you get to see him hopefully get his ass whooped on global television.
I was going to say, I hope he still fights.
Well, and like, here's the thing.
I hope he still fights.
Here's the thing. Is that I support his right to think and feel that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell this guy what he should or should not. I mean, I can assume, like I could say, hey, that's probably, you're sounding like you're in some deep Reddit rabbit hole right now, dude.
Sounds like a jackass.
Yep.
He sounds like he's just smooth brained, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, maybe you turned down the wrong internet corner a couple too many times, you know, talking about indoctrination and my own research. And now you're saying all this that's bigoted and racist. But I support his right to say and feel it. You know what I mean? And that I feel like that's important for all Americans because what we have right now are two political sides that talk about freedom, 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 and then basically argue about what freedoms they're going to take away from you.
Yeah.
Both of these sides. Both of these sides are arguing about, I don't care if you believe or agree with transgenderism. Don't take a person's right away to live and feel how they want to. Also, don't try to take our guns away because that is a constitutional right, right? We need people to start agreeing on more freedom and stay the fuck out of everyone else's business.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of other people's business. Stop arguing about what we need to take away from because that's what both of them are doing. What freedom do we want to take away from people? If you're going to be a real patriot that loves freedom, then you need to support things that you don't agree with. You need to support religions that you do not believe in because that is a paramount freedom that we were founded under.
Well, and
support things that you do not agree with.
Well, and the more you let people talk and say however they feel, then you get to weed out who you want to be around. Like, obviously, we would not want to be around that guy.
No.
It's insane.
Here's another thing that was making...
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Here's some other things that were going around the internet that was big when we did our first episode were the drones. So this is what I love about Trump. This is what I love about Trump, dude. So the Jersey drones were going on. It's a big old story. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Like all these drones, like everyone's freaking out about it. Everyone's taking their hot takes on Twitter and X.
They were looking for a lost bomb.
Yeah, lost nuke
missile.
and all this stuff. It was all these things, right? So people are freaking out. No one knew what it was. New administration comes in and this is going to come full circle. So what did Trump do right in the beginning of his first administration? He created what? Space Force.
I was like, I don't know.
He saw something. Listen. He saw something within the first 100 days that he was like, it's Space Force. We need a Space Force immediately. We need to be up in space. And so I'm like, what did he see that made him want to do that? Jersey drones happens. Everyone's freaking out. No one knows what it is. Goes publicly. That was some people that were enthusiasts and other people. Some of those were ours. They were ours. Yes, they were, sent to do that. That's on us. They were allowed to. We know about it. And everyone's like, but that stinks a little bit. Like, because there's a lot of people that are hoping that it's like UFOs. There's a lot of people hoping there's a lot that they're saying that those were the big ones were ours. They were scanning. They were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were permitted to do it.
Okay.
And that's the only public statement that they've made about the drones. And I'm like, man, there were some hot takes out there. And all of a sudden, so a lot of people believe that support Trump, just believe whatever he says. So I'm like, this is the first time, when this is what I find interesting about it, is that this is the first time people are like, like, that's like bullshit. No.
Don't worry about the drones. They're nobody's business. If they were a problem, they'd have to come through me and nothing gets past me. All right. So don't worry about them. All right. And I don't care if they're peeping through your window. That doesn't matter. All right. They're just flying by, Speaking of flying by, Sleepy Joe flying off the seat of his pants. He's delusional. He needs another nap. That's what I think, frankly.
I love it.
I do too.
I love it whenever he does that.
Too.
So do you have anything else?
The Georgia man story.
Okay,
you
give
see
it to
this,
me. No,
this poor guy, Sylvester Franklin of Savannah, Georgia. He goes and buys online like a drill and a power washer. Excited to get it, stuff like that. Comes in the mail. He opens it up, and it's just a photo of the drill that he bought. And so like the power washer is just a screwdriver.
Oh my God,
And
that's
so,
so
like,
good.
And so like he spends like ultimately $40 on this drill and power washer thing. He doesn't get it. He's been trying for like months now to get a refund, and he still hasn't gotten a refund.
Oh my God, dude.
And so just be careful who you buy stuff online from.
Yeah, there's some shady sites.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, they didn't include, for some reason, they didn't include a Windows activation key.
Mhm.
So I had to buy one. And like Windows is like $120. And I'm like, I just spent all this money on this computer. So I found a site that you can buy activated keys from, right? Completely legal. But that site looked shady. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use PayPal for this one.
Have you been on
I use
Temu?
PayPal for everything.
You use what?
PayPal
Oh.
for everything.
Yeah, because it's encrypted.
Uh-huh.
Like it's encrypted.
Yeah.
Like you have to. There's levels of security there. They have to do that. They don't get
Yeah.
your card information. It
Yeah.
goes through PayPal.
Yeah, everything. I bought a Traeger, the new the Meat XL Pro thermometer.
Mhm.
It's like $350, right? For this thermometer.
I love that you're serious about your thermometer game.
Oh,
I was like,
dude.
yeah, I didn't know you
So-
f***ing
Just get
look
like a
like
turkey.
that,
So-
Colleen.
I'm gonna like stroke this right now because okay. So I asked for my birthday for a Traeger a couple years ago, and my husband didn't really cook. I did all the cooking, and he bought me a Traeger, and then got like super into like Traeger cooking, and now like I almost never cook.
No way. So
yeah.
he's doing it all.
So I asked for a Traeger for my birthday, and I always tell people it came with a cook. So I'm in I'm in
That is funny.
Texas. I'm in Texas, right? We're at the rodeo, and they have all these shops and stuff. So the first place I walk in and I see the big Traeger sign, that's where I'm going. I want to see them grills.
Let me see that.
Yeah,
grill.
let me see that grill.
I want to see the big
So
old
the
grill.
guy that's there, he lives in Modesto, and we're both in Texas, which is super crazy. And he's like, "Oh, do you have a Traeger? Okay, my in-laws have 2 Traegers, and then we have a Traeger, so like we're all Traegered up. Like
Right.
I'm cool.
Traegered
All my-
up.
all my friends have Traegers.
Traeger
yeah.
coverage.
Yeah.
check.
Josh Manley, we're all
And
triggered.
he's like, but have you seen the new meter that we have?
Meter?
XL Pro. Yeah, it's
The meter.
It's
The meter.
Traeger bought meter. Okay, that's actually what it's called.
Right.
Right, and it's $350 for 4 probes and the new design, and then it actually comes with these 2 Traeger pellets.
Has
and
it got
comes with-
Bluetooth speakers on it too?
Okay, I'm going to stop you for just a second.
so it's like real.
It's actually legit.
Oh, it's like
I have
so.
like the cheaper version of those. I have 2 probes. They are so f***ing cool,
Okay.
dude.
It will tell you the temperature of each section of the probe as well as the temperature of inside your grill. Like
It's
girl
wild.
gets,
Those are
girl gets down with her meats, okay? So
clip that, or
I'm like-
we'll just go ahead and we need a
They're gonna
sounder of
like
that.
They're gonna like that one.
You get down on what now?
So it's $350 and it comes with all these extra things. And the thing is actually $350 on its own. Okay. Jimmy left the last one outside in the rain, and that one was like $100 and change. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll spend more money. That makes sense. And then he won't break this one. Well, a delivery gets to the house the other day, and he's like, oh, it says Traeger, but the box is like soggy. And I was like, oh no. So, okay. First of all, I'm in Texas. I call my husband and I'm like, hey, I'm going to spend $350 on your card. And he's like, okay, honey, do you need my card number? And I'm like,
my
yes,
God, I
please.
love
Can
that.
you
Oh
give it
my
to me?
God. Why is he the best
I
man
have it
ever?
memorized. She's like, I have it memorized.
The only thing I buy Sarah like that is like her hair. She got her hair done yesterday. She's all, okay, send this much money to her. And I'm like, what? I didn't get my hair cut literally 12
So
times.
we don't share a bank account, so I don't do that very often. But the guy is like, did you even tell him what you're buying? And I was like, no. And he was also, you just told him you're spending $350 on his card, and he said, okay.
God,
And
love him.
I was all, yes. And the guy goes, well, if my wife called me and told me she was spending $350 on Traeger, I'd be like, this is why I married you.
I thought he was going to be confused why he was so into it. And she'd be like,
Hello.
okay.
Yeah.
Please.
So, so we get this box and it's all soggy, and Jimmy opens it up and it's only the pellets. And so I'm like going through, and I don't know why it's soggy. None of the pellets are soggy.
Yeah.
The box is soggy for sure. But the pellets are fine, but it's only the pellets. And I'm like, oh my God, did I get scammed by Traeger? Did I spend $350 on 40 pounds of pellets?
Oh my God.
And so I'm like going through and I like look at the receipt and it's on its way.
Okay.
It would have been really funny
But
if
I
like
was
she had
like-
bought it from Trevor.
Yeah.
And it's just like it just came from pallets. Just like, damn you, Trevor.
I know.
It's always that damn Trevor. So with all that being said, let's move into some couple little updates. Okay. We're going to get to you, but I want to talk about something that's monumental.
Yeah.
And
We need
our main man,
Yes.
Elliot Jams is live. Our main man,
Yeah.
Mr. Jams. Go ahead and tell us what's up. What's going on?
I wish I could find that sounder. I had a sounder I wanted to send over. I couldn't find it. But you remember that old IRS commercial?
Yeah.
Got
I got a job. Got a job.
I was gonna send that. It's just that
See
the
if I can
guy,
find it.
the
Hold
guy
on.
just being like, got a job. Yeah.
That's how they got me.
After about a month and a half of
That's how they got you.
After about a month and a half of panic searching, I finally found myself a little gerb. Big shout out to Royce over at Grog's for getting me in contact
love
with
that.
my new employers. But yeah, I got myself a job, and I actually have a shift tomorrow.
Oh,
tomorrow?
Yeah, which-
fancy.
Hold on. Let's see if this is it. Yeah. Here we go.
Got a job.
Got a job.
Got a job.
Gotta start.
Gotta start.
The IRS got a job.
The IRS had seasonal
That was way more catchy than I ever deserved to
Yeah,
be.
that was a
Yeah.
banger.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
same.
give us the deets on where are you at? What are you doing?
So I just got got a job. I got a job at the Fairway Lounge, and it's like
What is it?
So it's a restaurant and bar, but it's also like a virtual golf center. So I probably didn't describe that right. So it is a full bar and restaurant,
Right.
which I'm going to be serving. I'm going to be bartending. But
Sick.
how it is there's 6 bays, and it's 5 on the ground floor and then 1 VIP suite up top. And you can pick any golf course, essentially pro golf course in the world, on a giant screen on a projector.
That's wild.
And it's got
Cool.
different patches of like turf, whether it's flat, your fairway, your green, your rough, your sand trap that you all hit off of. And you can either bring your own clubs or they have clubs. And so if you wanted to play Pebble Beach, press the Pebble Beach number. The tee comes from the ground and lifts up.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's tight.
And so like it's 6 people per bay. So you and some buddies, if you wanted to golf for like an hour or two, you go and golf, get a couple of drinks, and you have some incredible food.
Where is it at?
It's right on Friant and Audubon, right by Trader Joe's. It's right next door to the Trader Joe's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We know the
so
Trader
we
Joe's.
going or what? Hold on. Questions about the process of Elliot getting hired. The hair, it'd be a flowing.
Mad flow.
And Mad
Did
Flow.
you man bun when you went in for an interview?
I gelled back.
Did they ask
Hold
you
up.
who does your hair?
No.
Oh.
I'm
You
actually-
gelled back.
Funny enough, I don't even have the longest hair in the thing.
No way.
There's a dude that
Jess is laughing.
I have a coworker, and I talked to him briefly for a bit. He's got like Coachella Elliott long hair.
Yeah.
Like
Love
he's
it.
got some long hair. And it's funny, we were like, it's like the hardest thing about having long hair is sleeping with it, man. I was like, I know. It's the worst. Cause then it
I
gets
know.
caught on your back and you turn. It's like it's such a pain in the
I've been
ass.
telling him to cut his shit.
What
So
a
you
problem.
gel back.
I
and then
gelled back.
Did you walk in and go, I like to golf and I love drinking beer. Let's do this.
I'm also
And they're
on
like,
a podcast.
I also have a podcast.
So
Yeah.
I kid you not, they were like, see, you have a lot of work in radio, stuff like that, and broadcast. And he was like, yeah. And I have 2 days a week where I podcast. So those are like my only 2 unavailable times
Right.
of the week. But I don't mind working whenever you guys need me. We're like, oh, appreciate that. And like, so what made you want to come here? And I was like, man, to be real, there's 2 things I've really enjoyed in my last couple of years. Golfing and golfing with my pops now that he's retired. And man, I love myself a good beer on a nice day. And they're like,
He's like, I'm floating around and
Mhm.
just
it's
touching
like-
on the end of some
He's
alcohol.
all, I'm your ideal client.
and it's like, it's like, there's nothing better than having like a nice sunny day, playing 9 or playing 18, cracking open a few brewskis either in between or after. And I'm like, dude, that's what I'm all about. And that's what you guys seem to all be about. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
yeah.
what we, yeah.
I was like, yeah. So, I mean, getting an opportunity to grow this business with you guys seems like an awesome experience if you guys have me. And if not, no harm, no foul. Just wanted to throw my hat in the ring, so to speak. And yeah, I got an email on Sunday telling me, yeah, orientation's at 3 on Monday. I was like,
Sick.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey,
all right. Rock and roll.
Does it kind of ease you up a little bit on?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends. Like if I only, because there's a lot of us, there. Right. And so it is the start of a new business. So I'm very excited. And also there's something about learning how to do like make new drinks and stuff like that I've always thought is cool. Being the bartender that is always washing the glass, is always serving you up something right. Like you kind of romanticize it in a sense. And also like, it's golf. So it's something I'll be doing with my dad forever now.
So you were saying that there's going to be like a soft grand opening thing that we're going to get invites to this.
Yeah. So when we, I got to get more details.
Where's my invite?
I told you.
Can I
telling you about, hang on. He's trying to fish out an argument here.
Okay, but let me say something real quick.
He's trying to rage bait me and I'm just stop.
Can I speak?
No. God, don't interrupt.
That's all we do here is interrupt each other.
All right, your turn.
Okay, thank you. So nobody knows this about me.
Anyway, so I'm going to get back to the actual conversation here.
Nobody knows this about me. I am really good at golfing.
I don't believe you. Anyway.
We're going to find out.
So I tell Drew about this. Like, hey, man, I got a job. Royce helped me out. So big shout out to Royce. I got to write it down. And also, I got to shout out DM Mike in about 30 minutes. So I'll do that. But I'm telling him, yeah, they're going to do this soft launch to where people can come in and try the food, try some mocktails, try all this stuff and try out the bays, right? Because that's the whole point, right? Is to get
the
people.
Whole thing. Yeah.
And it is so cool. It's like from the technologies from like South Korea. It's very state of the art. It's very incredible. And Drew's like, oh, so I don't get invited. I was like, you numbnuts. I literally just invited you. I invited your wife. I invited your family. I'm inviting you because I'm telling you about it. He's like, why would I want to take my wife there when I want to go? I was like, it's inviting the family.
No, and then I immediately said, so we get to do a podcast from there, right? Like that's the deal.
Yeah.
Like we go there in a bay, do a podcast,
watch me golf and destroy
and be loud.
I had the biggest L of orientation was at the end. You go through everything. It's a beautiful kitchen. The bar's immaculate. Where they're setting everything up. They're going to have a pro shop at some point. So it's going to be incredibly cool for golf in Fresno in general. And just especially because it's going to be like a full bar. So when you're in that area, if you're not at, some of the restaurants there, you're going to be there getting ready to go to the restaurant or right after. It's a great date night experience, right? I kind of lost track where I was going with this.
You said big L.
Big L.
Oh, yeah. So we do orientation. And at the end, they're like, well, if you guys have time, why don't you try out the bays? We got some clubs, try them out. And I'm like, for sure. The first couple of kids that go, and I'm probably like, I think I'm the second oldest person there. Like there's a lot of young.
You have some seniority.
There's a lot of young bucks, and
grandpapa.
But they're all.
Oh, Papa, how did you used to play golf back in the day, Papa?
Dude, with a hockey. Dude, I look like I was using a hockey stick out there compared to there's some cats that were driving like 300 yards,
drilling it, dude.
Missiles with the driver. Yeah. I swing, I shank. Literally all 5 of my hits. All 5 are shanked left.
And everybody's watching you.
Like the 4 or 5 like
they're
bro.
All,
well, like the 4 or 5 like bros that are like gonna be my coworkers. They're all being good sports, bless their heart. And I'm like, dude, I look washed.
It's okay. We'll bring you your walker here soon.
Yeah.
And then like literally the next person, he's like, yeah, I don't really golf,
Knocks
an absolute dart, 200 yards down. I was like, I hate this place. Maybe I won't work here.
I'm excited for your job, Elliot.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I can't wait till we're gonna go as a group.
Yes.
When that
when I get more details, I'll send you guys. Wait. And if you want, I'm sure they would love any kind of filming, any time of. So come out, film it, vlog it, do your whole spiel.
And don't worry, we won't.
Oh, we have to vlog.
Yeah, we will vlog.
We have
That's
to
definitely
vlog.
a vlog that's going to happen.
Well, and
keep your eyes and ears open for that
I honestly think some of the reason why I got hired was because I have broadcast experience. So I was like, yeah, if you guys ever need a mic night, yo, what's up? It's Quad Walker, it's your boy here at Fairway Lounge.
He did some white boy bars on Taps and Takes, so go check that out. So okay, I like it. Now, before we get to you, because we got to do that update. I didn't tell you guys about this, but it was one of so one of the most awkward things ever happened. I was at Starbucks on it was Palm and Bullard. Palm and Bullard.
Yeah.
No. Palm and Sierra.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Palm and Bullard. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Palm and Bullard.
Palm
Starbucks.
Palm and Bullard or Palm and Herndon?
Yeah.
Which one? They're
No, it's Palm and Bullard.
Like a
Palm
street
and
away.
Bullard.
Yeah.
So I always open the door for everyone.
As you should.
I just do that. It's something that was ingrained into me by my older sister.
I don't trust you if you don't do it, frankly.
And I just try to be courteous. So I always let people go before me. I always open the door. So I'm opening the door for these two guys that are coming in. Normal dudes just walking in and they're like, oh, thanks. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I don't know if one checked their phone or what, but you know, like when you're like kind of holding it like this, you're about to walk, but you're kind of like bracing it this way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you feel pressure on the door, you let go. So I felt like I felt pressure, let go. The door goes, and the fucking guy just goes, plop, and he just fucking cracks his head on the side of the door. And I'm like
bad?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it was like
that was like
his
intentional.
His head went like this. Like, you know?
God.
And
Hang
I was
on.
like, oh my God.
How hard was it to hold in that laugh?
I
There's no way you saw that and you didn't immediately go.
Okay, it's a funny situation, but I was so concerned if I actually hurt this guy that I was like, dude, are you? And then he started laughing.
Okay.
So then I laughed.
All right,
but dude, it was the
I would
most.
be so horrified.
It was the most awkward engagement. I was like,
that.
this is what being nice gets you, dude.
Yeah.
You
I
get
would immediately,
slam
because
people-
I'm sus about everybody, I would immediately be like, that was intentional. They did that to me. They set
I
it up.
promise.
It's all for the
You know
gram.
what I think happened?
They did it on purpose.
That was the villain.
Yeah, this is what I think happened. There was two guys, okay, and I'm holding it like this. I think the guy in front pushed it a little bit as he's walking in, but then let go. So I let go.
Yeah.
And then the dude in the back, it was just the perfect timing, the way the door swung.
I would be like, I rejected one of these guys back in high school, and now he's
mad
slamming
at
the door in
me.
my face.
Dude,
That's
that's like
villain for hire.
Dude, that's somebody's like villain's like arc. That's how it starts right there.
that's-
They were already like down. They were like, dude, if one more thing, I'm going to lose it. And that's the moment somebody's like, you know what? Full villain. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the update from Jess's D&D. It was a big topic. Our whole episode 4 was named Jess Got Booted. Big story. I got to pull up your brother's text.
While you're pulling that up, though, shout out to our boy DM Mike, because we've essentially hired him without hiring him, because we are going to be doing Dungeons and Do-Overs
That is happening.
probably in February, but he's going to be doing something cool at Backyard Social. He's going to be doing Mythical Misfits, where he does his own like DMing and his own like podcast of DM and his own campaign and stuff like that. But our good friends over at Backyard Social are actually going to be letting him host an event.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, where he gets an inflatable D20 and people are going to be rolling the D20 for people, like for the players.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
That's going to be in April 12th. So shout out to our boy DM
like a
Mike.
giant one?
Yeah, like
that's
so like when they
dope.
have to make a saving throw, he's going to have the fans like who go out there, throw it out there, see if they fail or succeed. So
Shoot, get a nat 20.
we like to take care
They're
of
like that person again.
And with that shout out, yeah, Mike, you're officially our DM, so you just have to deal with it.
You're just going to have to deal with
No,
it.
I
We didn't even ask you. You
No,
are.
no,
dude.
like it's happening whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So Jess got booted. We heard the story. We don't need to go all the way back through. Jess got a little bit tossed. She wasn't having the most fun. She thought that they were trying to suppress what her character was. So I get this text message from Trevor, your brother, and we can't get him on the phone typically because of timing, right? Because he's a high school teacher. So when we record, it's a little bit difficult. So he's all, after listening to the D&D booted segment, I have some corrections to make. One, he numbers them.
I know.
One.
What a dick.
Jess was not having fun at all. Not even a little bit.
On a
Not
scale
before-
of 1 to not at all, Jess, how much fun were you having?
Once I started drinking, I was having more fun.
Yeah. Not before the alcohol, not after, not during. Also, she undersold how sloppy she was after the shots.
That's what pissed me off.
2, there were 8 players at the table, and it was the first session. So naturally, not every player got to do stuff at all times. 3, the wiener cutting incident of the nice bartender was the first thing that happened. I tried to talk her out of it because I have plans for that character, and she probably would have killed it. And he probably would have killed her if she actually tried to do that. Maybe he was a static character. 4, I did not know she was doing this for the podcast until after I booted her. 5, I genuinely thought I was doing her a favor by telling her she didn't need to come back. So when she reacted so negatively to being booted, I was surprised because I could tell it wasn't her thing. I did survey those in the group, and they agreed she seemed miserable. So there was a vote.
I know, what
6,
dicks. Yeah.
I didn't kill her character. I just told her not to come back. 7, I think part of the problem was that she didn't know most of the guys, and she clearly didn't actually know what she was getting herself into. Now that she knows how D&D is, I'm sure she will be fine in your campaign at the Dragon's Horde. Shout out Dragon's Horde. I'll say a prayer for whoever her DM is.
Now, was it a one shot or was it like you guys were
No, it's a
starting
campaign.
It was a whole campaign.
Okay.
I gotta say, 8 players is a crazy amount of
huge
people. That's a
number.
huge.
Well,
I
and
mean, you're doing a lot of sitting.
so that's why I sat there like this, and I didn't realize that was how the game was. I was like, this is so stupid.
I mean, it's literally like, yeah,
It's a
like
lot of fun.
I'm sure it is.
We're having fun.
I'm sure
It is fun.
but
It's
like,
fun.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
So then he sends me that text, and he's like, so I texted Drew, and then he sends me, probably because he was afraid you were going to tell on him and whatever.
Right.
He
Oh, yeah,
sends
he
it to
knew he
me.
was getting
So I
snitched.
text him back, and I'm like, calling me sloppy is so mean. That word to me is so fucking mean. And also, the man I'm dating doesn't have empathy, and so
He
if
doesn't
I-
have emotions.
right.
Yeah.
So
she said that so thoughtfully.
Yeah.
I was like really
So-
expecting a different
So
word.
if I were to say, like, hey, was I sloppy? And I actually was, he'd be like, yeah, you were. Like, he's not afraid to tell me, like, I didn't like that. I don't like when you act like
Right.
that, blah, blah, blah. So once this was happening, and I asked him, I said, was I obnoxious or anything? This is right after I got booted. He goes, not at all. He would tell me otherwise. I'm telling you.
See, there's a big discrepancy here on both individual stories. And as any rational person knows, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Or maybe something about your behavior rubbed him personally the wrong way.
Oh, I rub him wrong all the
Probably
time.
the chopping of someone's
dicks.
genitalia.
And like he had plans.
Mhm.
See, here's the thing. And this is like the struggle, I'm assuming, of a DM, Orky, because self-admittedly, I've never done this. I'm excited to do it. Dungeons and Do-Overs at the end of February. Probably be February when this airs. So at the end of this month, we're
Yeah.
going to be doing it. A dungeon master has to create a whole story kind of
Mhm.
around this.
Well, it also has to improvise
oh yeah,
all
it's a
the
lot
time.
of work.
It's more
It's a lot of work.
improvisation than
Yeah.
anything.
So he had plans for that character that you wanted to cut the dick off of.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, let me be me. I want to cut his dick off. So he was trying to save you because if you tried to, his stats were high or higher.
He's probably like a boss, if I had
Yeah,
to guess. So
a boss.
he could probably party wipe.
I mean,
the whole
especially if the campaign had just
Just
started.
started.
You're
Yeah,
like
you're one
you're
shot.
nobody.
But
They're
here's
just
the
gonna be like, and you're gone.
Yeah.
Well, and I walked into this and I was like, cool, like we're gonna be like LARPing. I'm like, we're gonna be
Like-
like sword fighting and we're gonna be like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and it was none of that. So I was like, oh my God, like
You should do a Ren Fair. Then.
What we're going to do.
I do love a good run.
There's
If
only
you
going to
want
be.
to LARP, do Ren Fair.
There's going to be 4 of us
You want Ren
playing
Fair?
So
for
bad.
Dungeons and
Ew.
Do-Overs. 4 of us. You will have things to do when we play.
I'm more down
We
for
will
that.
create something in which you could be you, and LARPing in the future, also future vlog.
Already,
But I will
Future
say,
vlog, that's going to happen.
I already told you my character. Sloppy Joe's gonna be a
Tommy
total
Joe's going to be a thing.
I-
Sloppy Joe's gonna be a badass. Just
I-
you watch. Just you watch.
I will say though, I do have a really bad taste in my mouth now though, like from this whole situation. And I want to shout out, there's been a few listeners that have personally messaged me and been like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I'm like, thank you. Like,
I'm such a victim.
I'm like, it was so traumatic.
It was
Thank
not
you so
okay.
much. Like, this is very sweet. But I also like, I'm like, Trevor, were you doing this for your little claim to fame? He was always making jokes like
that damn scam artist Trevor.
If you ever want me on your podcast, I'm available.
I'm down to have him in.
No,
I'm down to have him in. No, this is my thing.
No, because
we need guests.
Yeah.
Okay. And
The only way podcasts get big is if you get good guests.
Yeah.
Colleen, good guest.
Okay.
We got a good guest next week,
He's
too.
not a good guest.
How do you know?
How do you know?
You've never
Because
podcasted with him.
I have seen him in his element. Like when he was younger, like he made up a whole band at the church called Into It. Letter N to IT.
Oh my God, I totally want to ask him about that.
No, there's literally go on. Give me your laptop.
When's the band getting back together?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and they performed these things at church.
What rituals?
This was like back in high school.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
it was a whole boy band. And
A boy band?
It was a
That's
whole boy
cute.
band.
A Christian boy band.
And-
That's.
But they would like take their shirts off. It was very risque.
It was a risque.
It was like a risque
So
They were
Christian.
when I was
they were
in-
just showing their flesh upon the Lord.
So when I was in high school, we created a band also, but it was more like a gang, and we didn't actually
Christian
realize
gang?
it was there wasn't any Christianity
Oh,
in this.
okay.
No, my family
No,
was
it's
really
a gang.
Christian.
It was a
just
Jewish gang.
It was a gang. But we didn't actually realize it was a gang until we ended up in the local newspaper. And I'm like not from Fresno, but I'm from a surrounding area.
Right.
And we had actually super glued pornography onto the McDonald's menu.
You're so hardcore.
On the McDonald's menu. And it was a McDonald's that my friend had worked at, and he was a morning shift manager. So what we didn't think about was who is getting McDonald's really early in the morning at like 5 a.m. Who? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Elderly people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this really elderly man came through the drive-through. He's a regular and was like, "Do you know that there's a vagina on the number 2 today?" And like, so my friend, the
That's the
manager,
fillet
had
of
to
fish.
Oh my
had
God.
to
Made
come
my
out
day.
and scrape all this pornography off of the McDonald's menu.
Talk about flapjacks.
That's like not even why we ended up on the newspaper, but that's like the most that one. It settled in my soul. When
I love
found
that,
out.
like, the version of a white person's king is like, yeah, we super glue porno onto a menu. And then other people are like, yeah, we killed 2 fools last
No,
week.
like, so that's not why they considered us a gang. It was destruction of property. We took paintball guns and our cars and put Taco Bell trays on the bottom and like did donuts and shot like with paintball guns the top of the mall, and we broke all the windows at the top of the mall, but we didn't know that because we were on an adjoining building.
Right.
And so that one landed us in the newspaper, but we had also took concrete center blocks and took our cars and held onto the side of it and rammed it through like full fences that were like just being built.
Why? Why would you do this?
Kids are crazy.
I
man.
just did not live.
That's like
at
what
all.
I did in high school.
Yeah, you did not
didn't
live.
live.
See, we have stories like this. You got
I was
none.
out a
Hang
window
on.
like, yeah.
Before you start up their Christian boy band, I want to tell a quick high school band
Okay.
story
Quickly.
because Silks is involved, and me and Silks, Clovis West used to do this thing where they used to bring like small bands, so long as you didn't cuss or anything, and they'd play at that like concrete kind of like
the amphitheater.
concrete kind of
Yeah,
amphitheater.
The amphitheater.
The amphitheater.
Whatever.
The amphitheater after the kids.
But there was this band. It was a 2-man band that came out. And there are these 2 goobers and like, "What's going on, everybody? We're
We're all laughing because we all know.
What's going on, everybody? We are PK. We're ready to rock." You know? And nobody is dancing.
no
Nobody's
one is
cheering.
rocking.
No
one is indeed
but
rocking.
Nobody's in the crowd.
But to PK's credit, they're kind of killing it. They're kind of crushing it. So me and Silks are like, you know what? We're going to help these boys out. We're going to rock out with them. So we run out there and we're rocking with them. You know, we're getting it going because they are pretty good. They're not, for like a high school band that comes out, they're kind of
They
crushing it.
do this. I have proof.
You have proof?
But the best part of this, and Chris has like this dance that he does, like jokingly, he'll do the. So he starts doing that, right? He starts doing the guitarist, like heel clicks and jumps, right? And it's sick. It's a sick landing.
Right.
Lands down where Silks is and then starts like grinding on Silks. And so I'm rocking. And then I look in this guitarist after doing like this 8-foot jump off with the guitar. And I'm like, oh, dude, that was sick. Why is he grinding on Silk? And like, I immediately just stop. And Silk's like,
and he's a high school student, by the way.
So like, Silk's like,
Oh my God.
No, this is something that they do.
And so they had like an EP, like a 3-song EP. And so they gave us to it. And dude, that was in my car, Big Mama, for literally.
Are you serious?
For literally a decade. It is seriously one of my favorite memories. And so I couldn't remember the name of the band. So I just got confirmation from Silks. It is back. Shout out PK.
Shout out PK.
Can't wait to see him at Coachella 2027.
So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take one last quick break. Coming back, we got the Into It debut on the Do Over podcast.
I'm so sorry, Orc. You've got like 4 hours of
No. We're going to keep it within time. Okay. We got our debut of the Into It boy band, Risky.
It's
Risky.
He takes his shirt off. Yeah.
We got our daily dose of dip. And then we're gonna skip TV on the radio or TV on the internet. We're gonna talk about Colleen, why she's here, what she's gonna be doing moving forward, and then we're gonna end the pod. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, that's all coming up next.
We would like to thank Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry and Sierra Door Supply, providing and installing all your doors, custom closets, and decorative molding needs in Tulare, Kern, Kings, and Fresno County. Give a call to Anthony Sierra, your friendly neighborhood Finish carpenters, for a free quote today at 559-623-3054. Thank you so much for supporting the Do Over podcast.
Once again, a big shout out to Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry and Sierra Door Supply. There's 2 Sierras, but they're kind of in cahoots, separate, but together entities.
Is it a turf war?
No. Family.
Okay.
Family. So, yes.
Family turf war.
Civil war.
No. Sierra Door Supply, Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry. So carpentry and door hanging, all of those needs that you have, hit them up. They cover Tulare, Kern, Kings, and Fresno counties. Give Anthony Sierra a call. Okay, 623-3054. Thank you so very much for supporting us. We appreciate that more than you'll ever know. So with that being said, here is the debut. We were just talking about it. Your brothers, Risque.
Yes.
Christian rock band called Into It.
What if it was the kids from Denny's that did the death metal?
What the f is up, Denny's?
What the fuck is up, Denny's? All right, here we go.
That wasn't the final acts? No?
Do I need to fast forward a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, they did take off their shirt.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Got some.
They got groupies.
My brother's the shirtless one.
Okay, so we can't play that.
I thought they had actual music.
Oh, no, they're not that creative. That's why I'm saying he can't be on the podcast. He doesn't have that creativity.
But everybody's so creative.
Now, Elliot, I'm pretty sure you saw this story, and we're going to be honest about this.
All right, I know the story.
We're going to be honest about this.
I know the story. And I know what you're trying to do. You've been trying to bait me all day.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
I know what you do.
I feel that.
I'm going to pull up the story so we have it here. 1 second.
Wow, so unprepared.
No,
we've had like 3 hours of podcast to be ready for this.
Okay. No, we didn't. I didn't put the link in. Okay. Plus size rapper sues Lyft. Driver declined to take her. Now I'm going to pull up the actual article because I can't. I learned this from.
This was in Miami, right? I believe it was in Florida where this took place.
No. It was in Detroit, I believe.
Oh,
hold on.
Okay, I could be way wrong. Unless there's 2 plus size model or rappers that got rejected.
All right, here's the story. Okay,
it's a trend now.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to like
keep it together.
Her rapper name is Dink Damas. All right, Damas. She was reportedly denied a Lyft ride because of her weight and size. Now, the story goes that she is 500 pounds.
Okay.
She's a very big girl.
Okay.
The moment he was saying he can't take her, she whipped out her phone and started
recording.
And he said something along the lines of, "It's too much pressure on my tires. My car cannot handle it." But I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here. he wasn't being like overly mean. It was almost like a logistic thing. Like he's like, dude, you can't be in my car. Like it's too small. I can't fit you comfortably in it. It's too much weight to carry. I'm sorry.
I mean, he may believe that, but it's still an ignorant comment.
It's a bad comment, and you could easily put 3 adults in the back of a car, and that's more than 500 pounds. But we have to be honest about this, okay? Of course, because of her trauma from this and her personally sharing that trauma all over the internet, she's suing Lyft. Okay. 3 people sitting in the back of a car that's built to have people sitting in the back of a car is one thing. A person that's 500 pounds, that is the size of this table round, is not meant for normal seating. People that go to planes, they have to get multiple seats all the time that are that heavy. And he was saying, logistically, it's probably not going to work. I'm sorry. And gave her money back and left.
What is she suing for?
Her traumas. Okay. That discrimination. And I was like, okay, let's be honest about this. Okay. Because this is stupid. Most people that are morbidly obese, I would say most, there are some medical issues that can make someone morbidly obese. All right. Like thyroid issues and stuff like that. But I would say the vast majority of people that it's kind of an addiction, right? A mental illness to a certain extent. Yep. They get addicted to food. It's how it soothes them. Inactivity, not, having a sedentary lifestyle. They get heavy and they continue to eat, and it's like a vicious cycle. So I understand that like that person's struggling with things, but you also have to be honest about your actual size, because there's pictures of this woman. She is a gigantic.
She's a large woman.
She is a gigantic woman, and normal seats are not made for 500-pound people. 600-pound people have to be literally forklifted and portions of houses removed to get them out. And she is not a tall woman. She is a short, wide, 500-pound person. I think that discrimination should apply if someone is discriminating against your race, your ethnicity, your religious beliefs. These things or your sexual orientation. These are things that you can be discriminated by. Mm-hmm. If you do not exercise and you eat too much food and you're 500 pounds, that's your fault.
Well,
and
I
you
think
need to
still be discriminated against for your weight, but I don't think that was based on your description, I don't think that she was being discriminated. If he was like, you're disgusting, I'm not putting you in my car. That's discrimination. That's discrimination. Yeah. If he was like, I genuinely don't think this is going to work out. Here's your money back.
Yeah. That's what happened.
I'm sorry. If you're drunk and you come to my car and I'm like worried you're going to puke in my car, I'm not discriminating against you because you're drunk. I refuse the ride. I give you your money back. Yeah, well, call somebody else. Have a great day.
It's like a restaurant. Like, they have the right to not serve you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He has the right to not accept your ride.
Well, of course, Lyft did their statement. This should never have happened. The driver is fired and all this shit. And I'm like, this is such bullshit that our society needs to be a little bit harder. Okay, not mean, but a little bit more real here. Mm-hmm. Okay. The culture of, one of the number one, if not the number one killer in the United States is heart disease. This has happened from poor health, poor hygiene, poor eating practices, being obese. We have an obesity problem here. Oh, yeah. Normalizing this is like, you go, girl, you're big. It's almost like if I saw a junkie and I'm like, you go, boy, and shove a needle in his arm. Yeah. You go. You look so heroin chic. It's the same fucking thing, but because they're sensitive about their weight, because a lot of people are just not attracted to morbidly obese people. And I'm saying obese people. She's not thick. She's obese. Yeah. And that is a medical term. People are trying to turn the word obese into a slur. These are problems that are predicated by your health, the way you eat, by the way you manage yourself. This is not someone saying you're a black woman or you're a Mexican man, I'm not going to help you. It's not that.
Nope.
they're saying you probably will not comfortably fit in my car. And there's also, let's be real, I've known heavy people like that. They have some, I'm not going to say they, because I'm not going to like try to circle them all in. It is hard to wash yourself properly when you are that big.
Yeah.
There is maybe an odor or a smell or even worse that is on you that you cannot control when you're that big, because you literally cannot reach around your body to wash yourself.
Yeah.
So let's be honest here. The comments aside, which of course when you release something like this, the comments start. She don't need a lift. She needs a forklift. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear these things and that's a burn. But I feel like you took out your phone. You taped this guy. You blasted it on the internet. And now you're trying to sue them for how you feel about the situation, where you need to be concerned with, why was I even in that situation in the first place?
Yeah.
It's because you're lazy and you ate too much food and you won't stop and get the help that you need, because there's plenty of doctors out there. This is a legit medical problem. Insurance can cover it. Maybe she doesn't have insurance. Okay, but there's doctors out there that will help you get better. You can have try to do everything you can to get self-control to not have these problems. This is a you problem. This isn't the world's problem. But what we're having are people that have them problems and expecting everyone else to bend around.
Yeah, to cater.
Them problems to normalize it. And I don't think we should normalize it. I think we should laugh this out of the sphere and be like, what she needs to do is get healthy. What? Elliot, do it.
No.
Say it. Elliot,
No,
what'd you say?
You snuck a few things in. Don't think I didn't notice.
Elliot, say it.
No, I don't think I didn't notice you sprinkling trigger words in that.
Say it.
No, you just
like sphere or
you just you were talking about how people had to go around her. I was like, okay, that's a little rude, and you called her a sphere. What, globe was too busy? I mean, it was pretty rude of you to call her. You called her a rapper, but I heard you sprinkling candy in front of it. Like, it's just not. It's not right, Drew.
Elliot,
Elliot. Drew, be better.
Okay.
Drew, be better.
Yeah, I need to be better. I need to be better.
You need to be
so
better.
what do you guys think about this? Really quickly. We got like 2 minutes on it.
He had the right to decline the ride.
Yeah, I agree.
As if you're a driver, and it's like what Colleen said, if I'm about to pick somebody up and you see them dry heaving, you're gonna be like, yeah, dude, not gonna fly.
Yeah, not getting in my car.
If he sees something that he doesn't feel, and the driver has a right to say no. Like, if he doesn't feel comfortable with you, what if it's like that story of that woman that gets in that Uber driver's car and starts like beating him up and try to steal his car?
Right.
Like, if he saw it and he felt like, hey, this woman looks really dangerous, I don't want to be around her, he has the right to decline that ride. That's the driver's right. So he has the right to decline the ride.
Yeah. What about the fucking driver too?
And it would be one, and it's one thing like if he was like, hey, Bigums, get lost. Like, then you have a real problem.
Yeah, that's different.
And that's totally different.
That's
but
discrimination.
If yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But if he's like, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this ride, I'm going to give you a refund and we're going to go our separate ways, I think he's fine. And the fact that he gets fired for it is
bullshit.
Yeah.
Lame.
And like you said, the restaurants, they have the right to refuse service.
Yeah.
He is essentially a service, right? He's providing a service. He should have the right to say, I don't feel safe in this situation.
Yeah.
Or I need to take care of my asset, my property, which is my car.
Another thing is like, let's say she gets in the car, but the seatbelt doesn't reach, right?
That's what I was just
going to say. And then they get into an accident, they get hit, and then he gets sued for being an unsafe driver. Well, no, he wasn't prepared for his clientele. That's
for
not
that size of a person.
Exactly. So I think I think he got screwed.
Let's stop normalizing morbid obesity as being like an empowerment to women and men.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
a death sentence.
It's a death sentence. Let's stop acting like this is not what it is. To those people that struggle with that because of medical disorders, I apologize, because that would be horrible. The majority, and I'm talking like 95% and up majority of people that are that big.
The mass majority?
The mass majority of
You're
people.
Messed up, dude. You're messed up.
The mass majority of people, it's just because you eat 5 to 7 times a day and you don't move. So with that being said, we're going to have to sign off because it's been a good pod. It's been a long pod in our brand new studio. Now, before we go, Colleen.
Oh, my goodness. Why did you wait till the end? We should have done this in the beginning.
No.
Yes.
No.
OMG.
No, I wanted you to stick around for the whole time. I didn't want you to.
I mean, I told you that I wouldn't bounce, but
you should have bounced.
The logistics of the reason.
It's been like a 5-hour
what kind of bouncing? Are you like bouncing up and down? Or are you bouncing out of here?
That was really bold of you to say.
Now, Colleen, you are now our official salesperson. Saleswoman. Now, I don't want to make it a sales thing, but Colleen is going to be the one that's going to be handling all of our business moving forward in regards to anyone that wants to get on to get sponsorship opportunities here. It's going to be going through Colleen. Okay, so you're going to be calling her. If anyone reaches out, you're going to be calling this one right here. So that is why she is here today. Thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Of course.
So round of applause for Colleen.
Yeah.
So also to the Simps out there, it's going to be business. So if you're just trying to get
I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm married.
She's married. She's married.
To a really nice guy.
But
he's got meth in his veins and it's blue and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. So there you go. Episode 5 of the Do Over podcast said and done.
5 for 5 hours.
Yeah. No.
Wait.
2 hours, 43 minutes.
Wait.
Okay.
So if you do want to sponsor the podcast, if you have a business, if you have anything that you would like them to talk about, that you would like that.
I'll wear it.
Oh,
I don't care.
If you have anything that you would pay for them to do, UGC content, commercials, social media, we could talk about several different ways for advertising. dooverpodcast@gmail.com right now.
The do-over podcast
officially
at
on
gmail.com.
Google.
The THEDOOVER podcast. I don't know if I could spell that out loud.
The Doover.
The Doover. I know it's a mouthful.
Pointed that out. She's like, it's the Doover. I'm like,
the Doover.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. At gmail.com. Go ahead and send an email there. Do not drop in his DMs because
he will not see it. Yes, he will not see it.
You can drop into mine at Elliot Jams 13. I actually read and listen. Because I'm a listener.
We will get you all directed to Colleen because Colleen's going to be the main point of contact and all of that moving forward. So thank you very much. Episode 5 is done. We got coming up in just a couple of days, Taps and Takes episode 3, where we cover all the nerd news, all the sports news. Shout out to Royce and Grog.
Shout out Royce.
The amount of support and love that we're feeling out here was great. So
love Royce.
Jobs.
Elliot.
Jobs.
What does that whiteboard say?
It says none of your business, Drew. Because I'm jacked up on 2 cups of coffee now. Do Over episode 6. It's next Wednesday. Or a week from next Wednesday.
So
don't worry about it. Like and subscribe.
That's right. Subscribe to our YouTube. Subscribe. Until next time, gotta go. Love you. Bye.